Hey, what's good? What's good with y'all? Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Trey. My man Bishop should be here in a second. We got should have Ron on. Y'all already know what's about to go down. It's E2G Sports Network presents First Formation Morning Sports Talk. So come on in and fall in with us this morning as we get to talking about what went on over the course of the weekend with sports, upcoming things, and all that type of stuff, and which y'all only hear it from the best from us. So come holler at us. Come on and fall in. We waiting on you. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Plenty to talk about. Plenty to talk about. I just knew I was gonna be able to come in here, talk that stuff, but unfortunately, it didn't end how I wanted it. But let's see if a couple of other people come and be here. We had a conversation over the weekend, and we was like, keep that same energy keep that same energy. As you see already, some people in the comments because their teams won on this Sunday. What's good with Stanton? What's going on, Eric? Congratulations to the congratulations to the Carolina Panthers, Minnesota Vikings. Of course, we're gonna get to that conversation soon enough. Hopefully, y'all still be around for it. It is what it is. Uh, keep pounding, bit. I mean, keep pounding. Let's say, I know, I know. I heard it all yesterday. Keep pounding. That's what's up. So we definitely gonna get to that shortly. Of course, a couple other things in which we'll be talking about. Hey, I'm just trying to see if certain people pull up. I guess not. He has to show up someday, in any case. But yeah, so a lot went up over the course of the weekend, particularly in the college football and college in NFL. As you know, in the we were right around the corner from the beginning of the most in Major League Baseball going down. The hunt for October is on. Literally like 9 games, as less than 10 games away from the end of the Major League Baseball season, in which it'll be into it. The fight to see who's going to be in the World Series will start. Let's go Dodgers! Y'all know what it is on mine. And then of course, congratulations, like Eric was just saying, Mr. 700. Welcome to the 700 Club. Uh, Albert Pujols, um, Bishop on point in reference. That was all Bishop. I bring that. I wonder if he that was pre-precluded because he did say Taylor Swift and Rihanna, and then a couple of minutes later, a couple hours later, Taylor Swift and Rihanna is talked about, which they said Taylor Swift was just some was fodder, wasn't true, and then but Rihanna. So that was Bishop's complete. That's just gonna add to his mystique of him believing he's the GOAT when he probably read it somewhere. Nah, he or that what I'm saying, he's back on the in the sports division of the FBI. You're fed. Um, but yeah, so of course, like I said, plenty of stuff to talk about, conversate, and get into this morning. Um, so we should let me see, where do you want to start at? Give it a little time. So we get into this NBA conversation. Uh, Yesterday, of course, it came up. I don't know, Donovan, man. I don't know. Uh, He might not pull up. I don't know. He might not pull up. Just we'll see. We got 2 hours to sit for him to get here, and maybe he's watching and waiting on us to get past certain topics. I don't know, but we should see him. Hopefully, he's doing fine. Uh, like I said, I messaged him yesterday. Um, Once the rankings came out, and he didn't respond back, so he could be involved in some stuff, and saying things a little more important, bigger than sports. So we'll see. Of course, like I said, Giannis uh, had a conversation. He did some talking in reference to basically he came out to help. You know what? It's funny you say that, Lestanton, because I swear the year that USC lost to Texas, in the national championship, and I was in Fort Polk, correction, I was in Fort Hood, Texas, working at Freeman Dining Facility over in the 13 SCE footprint. And when we lost, I came to late. I came to work a little late. I came to work a little late, and I guess I don't know if someone looking out or what was going on, but the day when I finally got to work, I decided instead of usually we go through the back door and come through the back of the kitchen and walk in, but I expected them to be waiting out for me. So I went through the door closest to my office, which was actually the front door of the facility. I went through the front door of the facility, and do you know that when I got into that office, everyone popped out of nowhere. They had longhorn pictures of longhorns printed out, um Reggie Bush being tackled. It was all kind of stuff printed up and taped up on my office and everything like that, my office windows and everything. And when I came in, I saw, as soon as I came in, I locked the door, and I couldn't get in fast enough to close my blinds before they was beating on the window, people giving Texas Longhorn signs and all that type of stuff. It was so Bishop is not gonna get that same type of treatment here, mainly, mostly, possibly, but I remember. I would never forget. You know what it is. But of course, like I said, getting back into the conversation where we just talk about a little NBA conversation to start off our morning. Of course, like I said, if you take a look at it, or if you haven't heard yet, Giannis Antetokounmpo basically um, came out and stated that he believes that Steph Curry is the best player in the NBA. He looks at it as currently Steph Curry is the reigning titleist, and until he just knocked off that perch, that he is the person. He was the reason for Golden State getting that W. This past this past June. I'm sorry. So he said he should has that claim to fame. Of course, if you was here when we just went over discussing and talking about the whole NBA championships and all the NBA top players, it was said that Steph Curry was number 5 in the NBA's top 100, while Giannis rolled the number 1 spot after being number 2 last year. Steph Curry was number 5 last year. So it's interesting now when I think about it, you put it all in a little bit more into perspective. You're telling me that the reigning MVP for um, the NBA Finals did not do enough. Excuse me. He did not do enough to move from where he was last year as number 5 when he almost single-handedly carried his team to a championship. He didn't do enough to move the needle, is basically what is being said. But yet Giannis, who was number 2 last year, number 1 this year, has did enough. Even though he didn't win the title this past season, and he did enough to move up 1 spot, win the reigning champion and champion series MVP. Didn't do anything. Mm, I guess it's all speculation. Yeah, yeah, he's extremely humble. True that. I would say that about Steph Curry. He is very humble. He's not going to worry about all that type of stuff. It's one of those things. He's definitely one of those players that lets his game do all the talking, and he's not going to be worried about that. But I don't blame him if he once it comes out, because sometimes it comes out or people do it for you. So it's bound to come out at some point, in which is going to be like, I don't know, like as we say, the disrespect, or is it it just is what it is. The man's a Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer, too easy. Um, he does, you know what I'm saying? That's just one of those things, a guy given I think Eric, you was talking about it before, when you look at God given talent and, you know, saying things in which people have to work at. And so when you start out with with a certain talent, and slowly but surely, and you continue to work on it. I mean, I think that's what you get in Steph Curry. I was having a conversation over the weekend with Coach Uriah, in which we was talking about the top 5, and how Giannis is he's pretty good. I mean, we can't take that from him. But I think we start to get different type of prototypes every year, and we thought the mold was in it for the most part when LeBron was created. When you look at a person of his size and strength, able to move swiftly and do all the things which he's doing, you almost can presume that it was ended. That ended there. Then Steph Curry, you know what I'm saying, a shooter, dead eye shooter for the most part, which is a couple of those in to some degree, um, with that type of clip. And then up comes Giannis, who is a slimmer version. He doesn't have the size of like a Shaquille O'Neal but yet he's a slim, athletic player that is a problem. In which, and then you have even those in the Yod of Jokic, he's not as athletic as a Giannis, but he has all the tangibles that are there that of a playmaker, the ability to score triple double, almost a walking triple double, to some degree. And then you even have that starting to look at Luka, where Luka he almost to be in a mode of a European type LeBron. So then we was having a conversation, and I was like, the next breaking of the mold, in my opinion, is a Giannis type player that can shoot like a Steph Curry. And it's like, so after that, where do you go? That's just dominance. Like there's a in my opinion, there are a bunch of players that can be dominant in any way, form, or fashion, or a different form and fashions. But there's no one that just holds all those intangibles. And then, so yet remains to be seen. In which he brought up a couple of players, in which we're going to, of course, Chet Holmgren, one of them. In which it remains to be seen, like what do they bring to the table, what is going to be their ceilings, and where do you go from there, or will we have the next mode to where something new is seen or something that we haven't seen before. It remains to be seen. So it's coming, I'm very sure, and we're here for it. We'll be here to watch it, cover it, talk about it, and all that type of stuff. So of course, be on the lookout. Other NBA topics, conversation. Orlando Magic's guard Markel Fultz out indefinitely with a fractured toe. If you've been paying attention or or talked about Mr. Fultz, he seems to have an injury-prone career going. Hopefully, he is able to recover and get past these things. With the latest of being a toe injury, athletes is bound to happen some type of injury. But Bolts is just those ones that consistently and continuously have things that continue to potentially derail them shortly when they're trying to get into that mold and that flavor and get into the game. You already know Markel Fultz's career started out with a problem, an injury that he overcome to where he was out a couple of years uh, for who was it, the Philadelphia 76ers. He never got a chance to play and ended up being traded to the Orlando Magic before he could even recover. Came back to the Magic and then had a recovery, and now here he is again. But of course, saying shout out Markel Fultz. We hope you a speedy recovery and get back on the court so we can see what you can really do. Uh, Going on in the Noya, baby, you already know. New Orleans Pelicans have signed guard CJ McCollum to a 2-year, $64 million extension that basically has him committed to the Pelicans through the 25-26 season. In doing that with the extension, they basically align him with being in the fold with forwards or cornerstones to the organization. Um, Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. Now he's currently due to make 133 million over the next 4 years, or 3 years. Correction, 2 to 3 years. So now you look at their big three, quote unquote, is Zion Williamson, C.J. McCullough, and Brandon Ingram. They have some good pieces, in my opinion, with Jackson Hayes, um, Alvarado, um, Valanciunas. So it's looking good in my opinion in New Orleans. I'm not mad. I'm looking forward to catching a couple of games, and maybe even talking with some of those players. So of course, to be on the lookout for that. Of course, to see maybe they make some noise. Possibly, we already seen the noise. I think they made noise last year as they took Phoenix to a 6 game when they probably shouldn't even have been in the series. It took Phoenix to 6 games, so uh, never know what happened or what can happen. What else do we got? Let's go. This is what I want to have a conversation about. Forward, Phoenix Suns forward Jay Crowder is currently sitting out during the spring practice. So y'all know the NBA is less than 25 days away, due to start on the 18th of October. Um, What's good, Frat? What's going on? What's going on? What's Key? You will come in with the BS. You know what? Shout out the Eagles. I'll give you that, Key. Shout out the Eagles. 3-0. Even conversations of Jalen Hurts being a MVP candidate, a little presumptuous, but we'll give you that. So I'll give you that for now, Key. Shout out to the Eagles. Of course, we'll get to NFL conversation shortly, but I would give her that since she comes on being loud and obnoxious, as they said the Eagles fans are. So we'll give you 3-0. Fly Eagles fly. What's good, Anthony? What's good, man? How you doing? Glad to see you in formation. Glad to see y'all on formation. Much love, much love. So, like we was just talking about, Phoenix Suns forward Jay Crowder has requested a trade from the Phoenix Suns. Jay Crowder is due to make $10 million this year than his last year in Phoenix, but it's not like he's just making the money. He's going to be looked at like potentially to be re-signed or anything like that, or having the opportunity to really put on the show for anyone else looking to sign him. He's already starting to have a diminished role as is due to the emergence of Cameron Johnson. Cameron Johnson's starting to get more time. He's starting to be looked at more. He's starting to be more of a utility player than Jay Crowder is. So Jay Crowder feels like I shouldn't be here. So he requested a trade. So I bring this up this morning. Is this What do you think about this? Let's say that. What do y'all guys think about that? When you are like, if you were a player or your child or a good friend or someone, or if you're an agent and you're pushing the player, are you urging or asking the player to request trades because the utilization of them is no longer there, or because you're not getting the playing time that you used to? You still playing, but you're not getting the play time. What is it that you're advising? What are you doing? What are you saying? What's your thoughts? That's what I want to know. Please put it in the comments. We can talk about this a little bit. I, for one, I feel like my personal opinion is that you don't know what to come about in any case, form, or fashion. To sit up and because currently he's sitting the sideline or the bench or chilling, maybe doing workouts here and there, while waiting for them to potentially trade him. Of course, what's going to possibly happen if they don't trade him? They're probably going to come to an agreement. He's going to get waived. They'll pay him whatever they need to pay him, or whether flex the money to him, and then he's able to beat waivers and become a free agent or unrestricted free agent possibly. Or maybe they keep him in the fold and decide like we want to have you here. Um, but you can think that if they're currently sitting him during the spring training, doing a correction during training camp, that he's not going to be with the organization unless something drastic, it takes a drastic turn, an injury to somebody, or just realize like we're not going to do this. There's no takers. We don't want. He has more value to we see more value in him to just release him to go into the open market. It's just one of those things. So I ask y'all, what is y'all feelings or takes on this whole situation with Jay Crowder asking to be released because he's not getting the same type of love he was getting before due to the emergence of Cameron Johnson. I'll give you a second to get in that before we move on because it was crazy. He even had a tweet in which, let me see his tweet. Jay Crowder's tweet stated, where's his tweet? Of course, he tweeted, "One must seek work where he is wanted, where he is needed. I am thankful for what the past 2 seasons has taught me. Now I must take on another challenge with the continued hard work and dedication. For those of you who closed the door on me, thank you. 99, back soon." Really, Jay? Okay. And Pharrell, what's going on, Frank? Uh, so I asked this, Andre, and I get your point. You said I don't blame him. If you're not getting utilized, then let me take my talents elsewhere. So I asked this question, right? Is there ever a point in which you or any individual thinks that they're not being utilized correctly? Is there ever a point where you think you are being utilized, or when it's no longer conducive to you as, let's say, a player or anything like that, believe that, okay, I'm not being utilized right. I could be doing more. I could be doing better. I want to go. Is there ever a point like that? Like, I tell you this, true stuff, true story, right? Job I currently work on, doing military sports, right? There's been plenty of times I would be honest and factual and state that I believe I was not being used correctly, or my talents was being wasted. So I'm like, why be here? In which are those times which I could have been, of course, know the old saying, if you can't, when you feel a certain type of way, you become a change agent. So I felt like going into uh, attempting to get promoted or whatever case like that, because I felt like I was ready to be promoted and move up, and so I could be that change agent when those positions came open. I was passed over for them, or I didn't get the position. I won't say passed over. I didn't get the position. Happened twice, somewhat in a sense. In those 2 times, at some point, what I realized or came to grips with is maybe I wasn't ready, or maybe I wasn't that person in which I thought that I was. And I was able to deal with that and say that, okay, I take that. Currently, for the most part, I am that individual. I clearly believe I am that individual in which I had an opportunity to apply for the position, and I decided not to. It's like, it's not. I'll take my talents elsewhere, but it wasn't based on the fact of, I didn't get in my feelings. I didn't go grab my ball and want to go home so no one else can play. I just took it as it was. Like, you know what? No, say less. Get back in the lab, continue to do what I got to do, and I'll go from there. So that's a good question, Cornelius. And yes, I believe it is. I think it still is. You still got to earn that spot that you get paid to do. Now, some people may feel like that because you get paid, shut up and play basketball or whatever it is. What's good? What's good, Marcus? What's good, Frat? Ain't no popcorn right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? My cohorts ain't jumped on. I ain't got no one to pop shots at. You know what I'm saying? Anything like that. I was safe until San Francisco lost last night. I was safe until San Fran lost last night. So I have to humble myself a little bit. But for the most part, when we get to it, we're gonna get to it. Of course, we engage, full move, and engage. Uh, no, Donovan, are you sick? What is wrong with you, brother? That is not a straight up trade in any way, form, or fashion. Stop playing, bro. You must have been up early, because your mind ain't caught up with your body. Uh, but yeah, so I mean, that's what it goes to. So to answer your question, going back to Andre and Cornelius and that topic, for me, I think it is a Facebook user. Who is this? I don't know. Is this Prodigy? Is this or Dante? Or whose Facebook user this morning, so I can make sure we address you properly. But yeah, so it's just one of those things. Like that, I just think that yes, if you're being like, at some point you have to realize like maybe I'm not that person anymore, and you need to shift your focus on your utilization or what you think your utilization is. And then like to you, Cornelius, like you're saying there, I think there is a such thing as earning playing time still. It may be shaded or saying blocked out or eclipsed by the fact that players get okay, Dante, I got you, Hardwire. Um, so it might get eclipsed a little bit in which we don't see it or it's not thought about for the most part due to the fact of you get paid, you a multi-millionaire, or you get paid to accumulate to a multi-millionaire, and in state is you gonna yeah, you may not get paid. Who's not taking 10 million to sit on the bench? But in the same focus, the perception of everything, I can understand it. Like this is what you get paid to do. What's good, Nate? How you doing, sir? What's going on, Frat? At in-state is you get paid to do this, and so if you get paid to do this, you want to have some play. You don't want to just sit the bench. You don't want to get paid to come in for practice. You want to get paid. You want to get paid for playing. And so I can understand that aspect of it. Is like, yo, if you're not gonna play me, we can't all be like John Wall. John Wall for like a year and a half made millions of dollars riding the bench in Houston. Now he's in Los Angeles with the Clippers. True that, Marcus, but yes, me and you would. But if you've been playing a good amount of time, 6 to 7 years, you've been a player, you're not. You feel it. It might feel a different type of way. Like 10 million, I'm not worried. I want to play. I want to play for 5 million. Forget the 10. Riding the bench for 10. I want to play for 5 million. And it just depends. So yes, we would without a doubt. But NBA, I'm thinking of an NBA player who's already made millions of dollars. He wants to be a part. He wants to be in the fold, I would presume, and so he wants to make that money. So I can get that. I can understand that. Yeah. So, but yes, I would ride the bench for 2 million or the league minimum 400,000. Work my way up. What's up? What's up next? What's up next? So yeah. So of course we have that. Um, moving on, little moving on. 1 year overseas, then go overseas and become a monster. Next, you know, everyone you the LeBron of Barcelona or something like that. So yeah, it comes in different forms. Like it's crazy. When especially when it comes to the basketball, um, I engaged in a little bit in the basketball realm for about roughly a year, 2.5 years, and the things in which, and it's not the easiest, real talk. Like a lot of people have dreams and aspirations of moving on and getting into overseas gigs, and it's not as easy as someone would think. Like just because you could score a ball and play doesn't always give you that. I've seen plenty of people up and down my timeline that are still trying to get it. Of course, with the emergence of certain organizations within the U.S., you got the PBA by 1981. Of course, you have the ABA of yesteryear that's currently still going. The Basketball Association, the TBA, that are like semi or lower tier minor league, or they're called professionals, but they're like lower tier minor professional leagues. Then, of course, the creme de la creme is the G League, the NBA's G League. So, and then of course the overseas gigs and tours, in which has been plenty of them, which I try to me myself trying to get players a couple of overseas tours or put them on tours to go play where they could be seen by these organizations that possibly be picked up. You know what I'm saying? It went through that, and this is not the easiest, of course. And then, of course, what's good? Slow Jams, good morning, brother. How you doing? Um, so then, of course, you have other organizations. Shout out to the firm. If for those people who follow the PBA in 1981, the firm won their second PBA championship yesterday, 2 times in the inauguration. They won the first one last year, the one this year. So continue to their success. But yeah, getting back in. And of course, it's October. It's time for military basketball again to get started again. Of course, you're gonna have to reach out and talk to some of those people. The all service teams, get in contact with them, men and women. I look forward to having them on the show across the service, Marines, Navy, Air Force, of course, Army. And then of course the MBA Military Basketball Association, they have plenty of stuff getting on. So hopefully be able to get um, Commissioner Myers back on as he takes a full role as the commissioner, um, and to engage and build that brand. Look at having him back on to tell us what's the latest and greatest going on for the Military Basketball Association, the National Military Basketball Tournament, of course, coming into play as soon. If you go to their Facebook page, you can see they have with a full slate, or we shared it on the First Formation Facebook page, a full slate of different tournaments and things in which players can get in, MWR supported sanctioned events that hopefully they can get in. So military basketball is getting ready to get started again. Hopefully we'll get more presence for the from the women's side of it. So y'all know where to catch us, where to talk about, so we can talk about it all. They can get into a couple of other things as far as basketball, the HBCU league that's getting ready to start up. I have to get Miss Meadows on to talk about Miss Meadows Clark to talk about that. With girl Shawana Jordan, women women's first sports agency, have her on. Like we got a whole slate of things to bring on the people to talk to and reference when it comes to that round ball. So please be sure to stay tuned in and talk about it. So, but yeah, so all that going on. Let me see. Let me get into this. So of course, like I said, some things in which we missed on late Friday, Saturday, the college football, y'all know, in which I know a lot of people might came on for all to get the tea when it came down to, as y'all know, Bishop ain't here, so I say it for him. Them Oklahoma boom Sooners weren't too victorious this past weekend. It's unfortunate, of course, but as we stated, we did come on here and state. I will say shout out to Richard Applewhite, or of course Wayne Walcott, as both of them were the opposition in which we talked about Tennessee. Uh, I was clean on believing that Tennessee was not going to be victorious over Florida, in which all that got turned around. Uh, Tennessee did end up being victorious, of course, getting the W over the weekend over the number then 20 ranked Florida Gators. Of course, if you go through the top 25 now, at number 25, Kansas State. At 14, at 24, Pittsburgh. At 23, Florida State. 24, Florida. 23, Florida State. Number 22, Wake Forest. At 21, Minnesota. At 20, Arkansas. BYU comes in at number 19 at 2-1. Oklahoma drops from number 6, 12 spots to number 18. Bishop, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? At number 17, Texas A&M. Number 16, Baylor, still holding on. Washington moves forward to number 15. Ole Miss takes up number 14. Oregon, number 13. Number 12, Utah. See, now if Bishop was here, he would have some explaining to do. All that talk about the Pac-12. 4 teams outrank Oklahoma, Big 12 Oklahoma currently. Only one team outranks 3 of the 4 Pac-12 teams that are still in that's in the top 25, and that's Oklahoma State at number 9. But we'll get to them soon enough. Like I said, 12 Utah, number 11 Penn State, number 10 North Carolina State, at number 9 the aforementioned Oklahoma State, number 8 Tennessee moves up 3 spots, Kentucky moves up 1 to number 7. At number 6, USC moves up. And then, of course, the top five being Clemson, Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia. In which all that conversation we spoke about, and which the Ducks. I mean, correction, not the Ducks. I'm sorry. I'm looking at what Anthony put out. Georgia expected to just run roughshod over the Kent State Golden Eagles. Kent State was like, put some respect on our names. It ain't going down like that. And they only end up losing by, 14, 17 points. Uh, uh, with Georgia getting the W 39-22 over a clearly outmatched 1-3 at the time, 1-2, 0-2 Kent State, and they were able to hold their own in that game to where for a second, I don't know, Georgia might have been a little worried. It might have felt a certain type of way. But of course, that 55 point, those kind of took away some of the points. At one point, they were almost in full secure of all first place voting points. But currently, the split is 55 first place votes for Georgia, 4 for Alabama, and 4 for Ohio State, as they both make way, uh, doing what they can to make up the difference. Of course, Wake Forest gave Clemson a scare with that 51-45 game. Michigan lost, barely squeaked past in their game, winning 34-27 over Maryland. As we stated, we sat here and stated that we expect there's a possibility for one team to take an L out between the conversation that me, Ron, and Bishop have usually. Ron being a Michigan fan, Bishop, Oklahoma Sooners, and myself, the USC. It just so happened it was Oklahoma, in which I told Bishop to be careful. I implored him to be careful. It wasn't a walk, no different than it wasn't a walk for USC. They had to come down in the last seconds to get their W. But if any case, in-state is the W was achieved. Problems like yes, he did. 200 quorum, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, like off of 30 carries. uh, answered the bell, answered the bell, in which he did. He came, played the game, showed grit and grind, rushed for 243 yards. Currently, of course, like anything else, SEC sits atop the top 25 with 7 ranked teams being 1, 2, 7, 8, 14, 17, and 20. The ACC next in line with 5 being 5, 10, 22, 23, and 24. The Big 12 and Big 12, Big 10, and Pac 12 all sit with 4 teams in the top 25, and then the independent with the number 19 at number 1, number 19 for upcoming. So, you know what I'm saying, just to prepare, get your minds right. Uh, the ranks versus ranks that's coming up this week. Number 10, NC State takes on number 5, Clemson, in their 87th meeting for the when their match is top 10 team. So here for that, I'm rocking Let's Go NC State. I need you to get that W. Of course, number 7, Kentucky will be taking on number 14, Ole Miss. Number 2, Alabama will do battle with currently number 20, Arkansas. Um, the Alabama Crimson Tide are 6-0 when both teams are ranked. Let's see if Arkansas can make it a 6-1 at this point. Let's go, Arkansas. I need this W. We on it. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Saying, give me, you know what I'm saying, call them up. Let them know, hey, we need this W. Number 9, Oklahoma State to take on number 16, Baylor. And of course, Wake Forest, number 22, Wake Forest to do battle with number 23, Florida State. This is the only time they're ranked in 39 games, which was the last time they did that was in 2008 when Wake Forest was victorious. Um, so yeah, 5 games slated with top 25 implications in it. At least 2 of them would be gracious. I would be gracious for them to get wins, so that way, as long as we take care of business and those 2 teams take care of business, we should continue to ascend up the rankings. But we did have a whole problem. Matter of fact, who do we play this coming week? Let me see. Let me check this out. We have Arizona State. Arizona State. So let's go. I'm here for it. Let's go. If my counterparts are here, where's Bishop? Bishop, you know what? You can't run. We gonna talk about this. We definitely gonna talk about this. Unless you gonna stay off the show for the whole month, we gonna talk about it. Yeah. So it was a whole lot. Yes, I agree, Andre, I completely feel good about this particularly week coming up. So I'm here for it. Number 5-0, and hopefully, if Arkansas could find it in their heart to will their way and take them out. Y'all don't understand. He is not going to answer that phone. He's not going to answer the phone. Oh goodness. Yeah, they're in the. That's very petty. Understand that's very petty. So Andre, yes, they did, but they got a lot of turmoil going on and stuff like that. Edwards was just fired. They have allegations and stuff like that going against them where they're being investigated. So I'm very sure there's a lot of stuff that's not on the minds or that's being a distraction somewhat. It's just unfortunate that I'm urging them to be kicked while they're down for the pleasure of getting my organization or my favorite team into the top 25. But you know what I'm saying, it's just a part of sports. And you look forward to seeing how it basically ends up. Hopefully nothing bad comes of the allegations, not too much, but they are currently under investigation for some program wrongdoings. Interestingly enough, Pac-12, UCLA is second in the conference. As y'all know, currently the conference has disengaged from the whole North and South uh, in the conference, and the top two teams in the conference will face off for the Pac-12 championship. At this point, if it was starting today, it'll be a cross-town rivalry. Just in the same up and down the highway, a highway rivalry where USC will face off against UCLA. Three teams currently undefeated in the Pac-12, that being USC, UCLA, and Washington. USC at the top at 4-0, 2-0 in the conference, and then of course UCLA and Washington, both 4-0 apiece, 1-0 in the conference. Utah, Oregon, and California are also undefeated in conference play. However, they all have lost a game. When Utah lost to Florida at the beginning of the season, Oregon lost to um, Atlanta. I'm not sure who Cal lost to, but I'm sure it was any one of like um, Oregon or anyone like Atlanta or Florida. I will have to look at that. Which Wall brothers are you talking about, Anthony? I'll catch that definitely. I'm very sure I'll catch it later. But yeah, so definitely more stuff to talk about when it comes to um, the NBA. College football. We'll catch it. We can all be here all this week. Get a chance to talk to Bishop and see what was his plans or what did he think went on or what happened in the game this past weekend. So moving in to the NFL's conversation, we full slate of games. We know there's a game tonight. Um, there'll be a game tonight, of course, with the Dallas Cowboys take going over into or already in New York. Dallas Cowboys have an opportunity to go 2-1 and stay pace behind, trying to keep pace behind the Philadelphia Eagles. But of course, the New York Giants might have something different to say about that when they're currently undefeated. One of uh, one of two teams that are still undefeated, or correction, one of three teams that are still undefeated in the out there. The other one being Miami. We'll see how it goes, what happens. But first, of course, the NFL had an announcement of its own this morning, basically announcing that they will now go to a different format as when it comes to the Pro Bowl, as well as renaming the Pro Bowl to Pro Bowl games. Now, basically, the week. Oh, not the person that we wanted, but it's someone in case. What's going on, Ron? How you doing this morning, brother?
Buongiorno. So it's a rough morning.
I figured it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't. I have to put an APB out on Bishop. He ain't even. I ain't even heard from him.
Oh man, he hurting bad.
And you know, it's the thing. It got a little. It wouldn't have been as bad because, of course, we took the L last night, so it wouldn't have been as bad. He's like Bishop Ducky, like he owed money. It's cool. We like I said, I see him at some point. It might have been a rough weekend for him too. He did go down to Killeen, so. But yeah, so we just talking about how the Pro Bowl has rebranded, reinstituted. Now is the Pro Bowl games, in which there will be a week long event still. However, it will be filled with skills competitions and a flag football game, as now it is more of a situation in which they're trying to keep, the players have talked about and discussed, they want to keep it competitive. However, they want to limit as much as they can when it comes down to um, injuries and stuff, and things of that nature. So of course, with the flag football movement moving along, and that engine generating more and more and more notoriety, that's what they decided to go to, flag football and skills competition. So of course, I guess more to come out on that. Uh, he said, "Keep bragging on Philly, he'll pop up." So of course, you know, what I'm saying, doing that, and more, he is more likely that that more the big conversation to come in reference to that when it comes to the Pro Bowl, with the new format. It will still be played in Las Vegas, so that's still a thing. I might try to catch it this year, but definitely a whole vibe going on. So more of that to be talked about. But something else that was interesting, Ron. I don't know if you called it. Did you watch the Buffalo Miami game yesterday?
Of course.
Okay, and so of course, so did the NFLPA, in which they in which they have said that Miami has some explaining to do. When they took, if you was watching, uh, quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, was took a spill. He was pushed down by linebacker Milano, in which Tua seemed to have fell back and hit his head. In which he got up as he was going back to the huddle. He got up slowly as he was going back to the huddle. He collapsed or like stumbled, and of course he had to come out the game. He was taken to the he's taken it back to be monitored and watched, and didn't come back until after halftime. He was suspect, but however, the NFL protocol is that if a player shows any type of concussion symptoms, that they're taken out the game and monitored on the sideline. There's a series of tests in which they have to go to, and if any of these tests come back positive, then they're basically out the game. Those tests being, they have to, let me see, make sure I get it right. They basically, it's a go or no go situation in which they are, the video of the player reviewed, a review of the concussion signs and symptoms, of course, any inquiry regarding the history of any of this event. So if they're predominantly susceptible to getting concussions. Of course, inquiry regarding the focus the focus of the player, and then any neurological type exams is conducted. If any element of these tests comes back to be positive or inconclusive, then the player must be taken from the game. We don't know we don't, as a media, don't know what exactly went on or how did it go. But what we do know is that Tua came back into the game and was able to help and will the Miami Dolphins to a W, and in which of course we'll get into that game momentarily. Um, but do you think it was worth it if Tua was what Tua said? This is what Tua said. He said it wasn't a problem with his head or anything like that. He basically stated that that he had ran a failed QB sneak earlier in the game, and he ended up, and it was his back locked up. And when he was after he was pushed, he hyperextended his back when Milano pushed him. After Milano pushed him, he got up, and that was the reason for the collapse, so to speak. Um, no, Anthony, it is not. It is now. It is now. So now, basically, as we're talking about, we have him in potential protocol. Um, now the NFLPA is taking a look at the situation. Of course, more on that game, but like I said, we'll get to it momentarily. Actually, let me see. Let me pull up where's these scores at. Let's get into that. Let's have a conversation in reference to this past weekend. We already know tonight Dallas and New York will play. But let me see. We talked about the Browns and Steelers. Like you just said, up jumps the boogie. The first game, the Buffalo Bills against the Miami Dolphins. Ron said he saw the game, so we're gonna get his take on it in a sec. Buffalo, like you said, losing 21-19. Josh Allen 42 for 63. This is ridiculous. 42 for 63, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen carried the ball 8 times for 47 yards. Zach Moss, 4 for 46. Singletary was 9 carries for 13 yards. Receiving Singletary, 9 receptions, 78 yards, and a touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie was 7 for 6 with a touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 7 receptions for 74 yards. Um, yeah, 63 complete attempts. James Cook 4 for 37. Gabe Davis 3 for 37. Dawson Knox for 4 for 25. Ron. Additionally, in this game, I know Ron is a stickler for the stats that aren't being talked about. Was being said. For 40 minutes with the ball in their hands, and yet that was all they was able to produce. Let me give you Dolphins real quick, and then we get into your take on that. Tua Tagovailoa, 3 for 18, 13 for 18, 186 yards, 1 touchdown. Teddy Bridgewater, 0 for 2. Chase Edmonds, 6 carries, 21 yards, 2 touchdowns. Raheem Mostert, 8 for 11. Jalen Waddle, 4 receptions, 102 yards. Tyreek Hill, 2 for 33. Durham Smith with 3 for 23, and River Craycraft, 1 for 11. Ron, where did it go wrong for Buffalo?
Ah, taking Miami lightly, as we
Okay.
all did. Um, they definitely gonna have to do some explaining for that Tua situation coming right back onto the field.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think it was just none of us was ready. We watched Miami get pounded by the Baltimore Ravens and then have that amazing fourth quarter. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of us saw this happen. And that Miami Heat, I don't think the Buffalo Bills was ready for that Miami Heat. They got
Again, the elements.
yeah, Miami sitting in the shade, relaxing on the sideline, and Buffalo's like, fellas, I don't think we in Buffalo no more.
It's like an abominable slow man in the on a vacation in Iraq.
Yeah, exactly. And this game was filled with muffs and bluffs.
Mm-hmm.
It was just an ugly playoff atmosphere game in week 3, and I'm here for it.
Of course, in any case, this whole week wasn't good for us. Of course, as our picks are looking completely dismal at this point. I'm 5-10. Yourself and Bishop's both at 6-9. With one more game for the season, which we'll get to that pick later on before we end the show. Um, yeah, this week is this cramping, dehydrating. I'm just saying, Eric, that's what it is, and that's what we said this. As a matter of fact, it was other analysts that said this prior to the week that it was going to be a hard game for Buffalo because they're not going to be climatized to this environment. Environments count. Those elements are a clear factor as we get later into the season. Frozen tundra and all that type of stuff. We already know how it goes. Um,
I
but
think we still can't reiterate that Miami and Buffalo are in two different classes of football. I don't feel like this game should be as close as it
mhm,
was, or if Buffalo shouldn't have lost. This should have been a 10-point game. I mean, they was favored by 6 points on the road, so Vegas is telling us that they're 10-point favorites. This is a
mhm.
collapse on Buffalo, and I'm happy to see it after what they did to the Rams. Despite how much money I lost on them.
Yeah, I sit up at night. I lost a little trying to do trying to do huge parlays, even though just trying to
This was
do a
not the
parlay with.
weekend.
Yes, I was like, you know what? Forget it. Let's go. Let it ride. And then it did end up in my favor. I went with all the potential upsets, in which I only struck on one, I only got one right.
Mm.
So,
I
but I was
bet
like, it's
I bet on all of the games last week too that we all agreed on, and we caught some L's too. It was rough,
mhm.
which we
It's like
about to go through.
yes, Miami D stepped up too. Yeah, that I definitely lost my parlay with the Chiefs. What else we got? What else? Let's go next up. Bengals and the Jets. Of course, the Jets uh waiting for Zach to come back. Zach Wilson as Joe Flacco started again after coming back from last week and getting the win. Cincinnati was 0-2 and on the cusp of becoming a part of history as it has no team previous team from the previous year's Super Bowl has went back to the playoffs if they went in 0-3. So Cincinnati was up against opposition unlike any other. Of course, Cincinnati gets the win, winning 27-12 over the New York Jets. The Jets, Joe Flacco, 28 for 52. That's a lot. Another one, 28 for 52, 285 yards, two interceptions. Michael Carter rushing 11 rushes for 39 yards. Brees Hall, 8 for 39. Tyler Conklin, 8 receptions for 84 yards. Garrett Wilson, 6 for 60. Brees Hall, 6 for 53, filling up the stat sheet. Elijah Moore was 4 for 49. Corey Davis, 2 for 27. Michael Porter, 1 for 7. And CJ Moza was 1 for 5. On the other side of the ball, the Bengals, Joe Burrow, 23 for 36, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns. Um, Completing the touchdowns to Tyler Boyd, who was 4 receptions for 105 yards. Jamar Chase, who was 6 receptions for 29 yards, 1 touchdown, and Samaji Perine was 2 for 14 and a touchdown. Additionally, T. Higgins contributed with 5 receptions for 93 yards. Joe Mixon was 3 for 14, and then of course Joe Mixon had 12 carries for 24 yards. Samaje Perine 9 for 47, and Joe Burrow was 5 carries. With no positive yards. The Cincinnati game. Is it a situation to where now Cincinnati is back in, or is this a situation where the Jets just was under strength and they need their current franchise quarterback in Zach Wilson back? Ron, you muted. Oh, let me see. They might win 2 more games this year. I might have.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, okay.
What
The
was
Jets
you
are just
asking?
is this a situation where the Jets beat themselves, or Cincinnati was just lucky, or
Oh, them baby kittens finally woke up. Yeah, Joe Flacco finally showed us why he was not a starting quarterback in the NFL.
a couple of people say since he's still in trouble.
Of course, they
Oh yeah,
have an offensive line that's trying to destroy their future.
he did look like he was running for his life. Like he was like there is problems. There are definitely problems in Cincinnati Shield. Uh, Moving on to the next game, last night, yesterday, the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, 0-3 Raiders. All the promises which we thought and seen, expected that we had with the Devontae Adams and Derek Carr connection. Of course, that's not disrespected completely. I understand that the plays still have to kind of like get gel, move around. No difference from me disrespecting Aaron Rodgers and saying that he was going to be a certain type because he has to gel with his players. He does not have a Devontae Adams talent. That does not mean that he can be what do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? Just creeping in through the back door, like I stated and said before. Just like when I tried to creep in through the back door when USC lost to the Texas in the national championship. It's not national championship, but however, you would think that it's a national championship game every
Hold on,
time they
man.
play.
What you won't do is you won't change the narrative right now because it sounds like y'all talking about NFL. Don't try to jump to college football just
Everybody,
because I jump over
everybody,
there. Don't do that,
everybody,
Ron.
everybody has been waiting for you,
Ron, don't let
Bishop.
him do that, Ron. Ron, don't let him do
Everybody,
that, Ron.
Ron's here for it too. Ron's here for
Oh
it
my
too.
God, we're gonna need a couple of more hours. What's going on, WGO? What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good, man? How y'all doing, man? Hey, it's cool, man. We took a L, man. Yeah.
Look, goodness gracious, it's a lot of opera. Everyone,
What's good? Oh,
you,
everybody
you,
waiting on me, huh?
you would think
Everybody
that
waiting on me.
you would think that Nia Long cheated on you the way they talking right now. Goodness,
What's
what's going
good,
on?
Nathan? What up? What up? What up, ISO? What's good? Big L. It wasn't a big L, man. That's the
It was
thing.
like we said. We expected at least one of our teams possibly was able to win. It wasn't no slouch games
Yeah,
this week. So I
it
mean,
was
that's why.
it was huge. It was a huge L for for us. Kansas City always give us problems. They done beat us 3 of the last 4 times we met.
Correct.
They always give us problems. I was but you notice, like, now mind you, right? Trey want to call me on Saturday, right
I did.
before the game.
I did not.
Hey, I
I
just want to
said,
let y'all. I just want to let you know. I'm gonna let you know, man. Y'all possibly gonna lose to Kansas State. Now, of course, I'm riding high for my team. That's my squad. I'm riding
yeah,
high
let's
for the
expect it.
Sooners, man. They're my boys. You know what I'm saying? I'm running, but deep down inside, I knew we was about to have problems because I
Yeah,
know Kansas State always give us fits. They always give us fits without question. So to know
it's just
that,
like and we all do that. We all do. Like I was, although I was like that for USC, but I knew Oregon State was going to be a problem type game, in which it was a problem until the last seconds of the game,
yeah,
and we was able. So it was expected. You know what I'm saying? Everyone, if you pay attention and know, you already knew that it was not going to be just a walkover game, especially when
right.
you look at how Oklahoma is still trying to get their footing. Like they got some games where it was enough for them to get to take off, but you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be one of those games, and they still got a gauntlet to go through, in my opinion.
Oh
Look,
yeah, I mean Kansas State was like one of the least of our worries,
because
so we
Coach K.
definitely we got enough to go in. I mean, we definitely got enough. What? Come on,
Oh,
stop it, bro, stop it, man. Come on, man. Hey, man, Kansas State they give us problems, man. Kansas State, before you believe it or not, Kansas State probably gonna be in the top 25 if they aren't already. I haven't seen
no,
them
they're
in the
not.
top 20.
They're not.
Okay, they will be before the season ends. They will be because they're gonna beat Texas. They're gonna beat Texas too. Texas then took another L, so Texas definitely ain't coming back in. So
No, can
yeah,
Texas in the
Kansas,
top 25?
Texas in the top 25 losing again
I think they are.
twice.
Let me make sure. I think let me
There's no
confirm
way
that.
they in the top 25 losing twice.
Okay, no, they're not.
I was finna say there's no way
They
they in the
fell
top
out.
25. Yeah, they couldn't. They lost twice. There's no way they should still be in there. Kansas State should
Actually,
go in.
Kansas State is number 25.
I
I
told
checked
you
it
I
right
knew
here.
Kansas State. I figured that Kansas State. I hadn't like I said I hadn't seen it yet, so I didn't know. But Kansas State, I knew they were going. I knew they was going to get in there, and they're going to continue to stay. They're going to stay in there for a little bit because, like I said, they're going to beat Texas. They're going to give Baylor a run because Texas. I mean, K State. I'm so upset, man. For me, Brett Venables, for you to be a defensive coach, how do you allow the running back and the quarterback to rush for over 200 and something yards on your defense? That makes no sense to me. You're a defensive coach, Brett. How do you allow a team to the quarterback and the running back to rush for over 200 yards on you? You couldn't do. This dude was looking like Kyler Murray of Kansas State. He ran all over our defense. It was horrible. It was horrific, and I was pissed all day because it was a late game. I wasn't pissed all day. I was pissed all night because it was a late game. I was out of town. I was in Killeen, so I was watching it. Went to a little cigar bar or whatever and was watching it with a lot of, a few of the frat and stuff like that, sororities and stuff. So I'm watching the game. Everybody looking back at me because I'm pissed. I'm going in, man. I'm mad. And then of course Alabama winning, so they in there running their mouth, all the Alabama fans, and it was funny. It was funny, huh? It wasn't as funny as almost how y'all almost got y'all behind beat by Detroit though, was it? Wasn't almost as funny was it, Eric? It wasn't almost that funny though, was it? When y'all almost got beat by Detroit, I told y'all Detroit almost was about to give y'all fits. They gave y'all fits. Y'all barely skimmed away from Detroit, barely.
But we didn't.
But we did, yeah. So hey, y'all didn't. Y'all skied away with a win, but it was close. It was damn so close. Detroit gave y'all fits. But either way, yeah, Brett Venables. No, we didn't barely win, too. How did we barely win? We won 24-8. How did we barely win? Y'all won by 3. We won 24-8. How is that barely, bro? Stop it. You trying to find a small. We beat y'all. How about that? We didn't barely beat y'all. We beat y'all. Now, let's talk about that barely. Oh, okay. We'll wait, Eric. Zach, don't come in here on me. Hey, Hurt. What? Hey, Hurt look good with Philly. I know he do. I know. Thank you, Marcus. To the Lions, man. Yeah, y'all almost, bro. Y'all had to come back to win that game. Stop it. I'm not. I'm bringing up what happened. It's less than a week, a little less than a week ago. It's actually a week ago when we beat up on y'all. It was actually a week from today that we beat y'all. Don't worry about it. I'm just saying. Hold on. Hey, Anthony, ain't you? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, Trey. Let me move out the way real quick. I'm just gonna leave that right there real quick. Let that fester. Really, Anthony? Don't you say nothing. Don't you say nothing. Y'all won by 3. We won by, but we beat y'all. Eric, still to go. Anyway, back to college football, like I was saying. Brett Venables, he really pissed me off with that, man. I don't know why he could not stop the run. I couldn't get it. Poor tackle. For me, man, I don't know if it's y'all, but for me, when it comes to college football, and it ain't even just college football, like I feel like the fundamental of tackling is gone. Oh, yeah. Everybody just want to do the big hits.
Blow up.
Yeah, they just want to do the big hits. Nobody want to wrap up and tackle somebody. Everybody just want to put a pad to them and call it a day and think that's going to knock everybody. That's not what happens. Wrap up and grab somebody. Quit trying to arm. Where is the fundamental of tackling at? That's NFL as well as college football. I swear that it's a lost art. It's a lost art, bro. I'm telling you. I would have stats like that if I was playing all bad team. Bro, y'all, Eric, Anthony, y'all, until y'all get on the winning streak, and until y'all if y'all got something in the losers column, y'all can't really talk to me right now. Y'all can talk to Trey, and y'all can talk to these other cats. But until y'all get something, if y'all got a notch in the L column, y'all really ain't got nothing to say to me right now, bro.
How did I get in this conversation? I ain't said nothing about the Eagles. I had nothing but great.
I'm saying he can talk to y'all though. I mean, y'all, because y'all got something in the L's column. We don't have anything in the L column. No, I'm not. How am I most? We didn't lose. What did we lose? We didn't lose. My Eagles didn't lose. Are you talking about my Sooners? Don't worry. We lost last year, and guess what? We were still in the playoffs. Don't worry. We'll be back. We need that L. That L is something that we need to bounce back, bro. We going to take that L. We take that L with a grain of salt, man. We're going to move on from it. It is what it is. Being that we lost to Kansas State, guess what? I hope we play Kansas State for the Big 12 championship, and we're going to show you how it's supposed to be done. But it is what it is. I voted for the Eagles. He switching sports to prove. I'm not switching. How am I switching sports? Are we still not talking football? I only talked about college because Trey came on when I came in. Trey talking about first day he came, and I'm the one that said, "Oh, don't change up the narrative by going from NFL to college," because it said NFL on here, and he started talking about college. That's how we got on college. I didn't change it up. Trey changed it up. It don't matter to me because we can go to the NFL because guess what? Let's go EAGLES Eagles or what? Winners, baby. I think how many teams? 2 teams in the NFL that are undefeated.
3.
Is it 3?
Yeah.
Miami, us, and who? Who's the third?
New York.
Oh, the Giants because they play tonight.
Oh,
That's right. They play the Giants.
the Giants.
That's right. The Giants play tonight. That's right. That's why.
So before we get to the Eagles, we was just talking about discussing how the Derek Carr situation, Derek Carr, Devontae Adams isn't the best of situations. As we were saying, the Raiders losing this week to the Tennessee Titans 22-24. Derek Carr 26 for 44, 303 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Not shabby. Josh Jacobs 13 carries for 66 yards. Brandon Bolden 3 for 17. Carr 2 for 17. Mac Hollins was 8 receptions, 158 yards, 1 touchdown. Foster Moreau 3 for 44. Devontae Adams 5 for 36 with a touchdown. Josh Jacobs 5 for 31. Darren Water was 3 for 22, and Keelan Cole 1 for 12. The Titans, however, Ryan Tannehill 19 for 17 with 264 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Derrick Henry 20 carries for 85 yards with 1 touchdown. Dontrell Hilliard was 2 for 14. Traylon Burke was 1 for 8, as well as Ryan Tannehill carried 4 times with 2 yards and 1 touchdown. Robert Woods 4 receptions, 85 yards. Derrick Henry 5 for 58. Nick Westbrook 3 for 40. Dontrell 1 for 30. Jeff Swain 3 for 19 with a touchdown, and Austin Hooper 2 for 19. Lastly, Traylon Burks 1 for 13. Is this any type of indication of what the Raiders will be going forth, or is it just they still need time to gel together, gentlemen? Oh, Bishop just left. Ron?
Wow. The Raiders. Is this are they the biggest disappointment of the NFL season so far?
It's looking like it. We just knew the AFC West was going to be a juggernaut, and that's not what it's looking like right now.
Right, they're looking like the kitty cats.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they owe our division some apologies, despite y'all horrid Monday night loss. Seahawks won, didn't they? So we don't have to give the juice back to the NFC West, but the Raiders, ooh, y'all might as well send Devontae back to Green Bay. What are we doing here?
It's like messing up
Trade
a
him
great.
for Lazard. I think when it comes to their offense, Derek Carr has the Devontae mindset where he is, I got to get it to Devontae. And I'm not seeing the same Waller that I saw last year. No. I know you probably would agree as he's on your fantasy team. I think.
Yeah, because I just knew he was going to score. I was like, feed him again. Come on, man. But yeah.
Right. The offense ran through him last year, and it was great. And I think them switching it to Devontae threw off everybody's mojo. And it's not vibing. And it's not. But the thing about it is they could be the first 0-3 team to make it to the playoffs because it's not going to be that tough this year. They can win next week and be right there in their division. Chiefs got 2 wins.
Yeah, so it's not dismal yet. They still have an opportunity when they play head to head with one another to sit up and make up the ground, like to double it up.
Right.
But definitely, like Zach is just saying, this is not the start that you expected. When you look at everyone has high praise for Derek Carr, he just got a bag. Devontae got a bag. Everyone's getting bags. Renfro got a bag. It's like it's like that. What seems like the correlation is bags don't correlate to wins.
Who said they did? Bags correlate to comfortability. We buying a new house, baby. We sitting comfortable. Let's hire a new chef. I'm not surprised at all. And they in Vegas.
Yes,
Y'all gotta
definitely,
clean it up.
definitely without a doubt. So moving on into our next game. Where was it? Where was it? The Saints and the Panthers. Shout out to the standing. I know. Keep pounding, as he said when we first started. The Saints traveled to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Both teams with a 1-1 record at 500. Only one can move forward. The other one has to take a slight step back. In this case, the slight step back belonged to the the slight step back belongs to the Carolina Panthers. Um, in which the Saints, Jameis Winston, and we're going to definitely have a conversation about this, Ron. Jameis Winston, 25 for 41, 353 yards passing, one touchdown, two interceptions. Alvin Kamara came back, 15 carries for 61 yards. Let's not forget that he did have a fumble that was picked up for a scoop six. Mark Ingram, 5 for 18 with one touchdown. Chris Olave, 9 receptions, 147 yards, no touchdown. Traquan Smith, 4 for 105. Michael Thomas, 5 for 49. Jarvis Landry, 2 for 22. Alvin Kamara was 2 for 12. Uh, Marquez Callaway, 1 for 4 with a touchdown. When it comes to the Panthers, however, Baker Mayfield, 12 for 25, 170 yards, one touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, 25 carries for 108 yards. Chuba Hubbard, 3 for 25. DJ Moore, 2 for 13. Baker with a 1 yard negative. LaVisca Chenault, 2 receptions, 90 yards, one touchdown. Shee Smith, 2 for 22. Giovanni Richie was 1 for 15. Christian McCaffrey 2 for 7. Ian Thomas 2 for 13, and Robbie Anderson 1 for 14. Ron, how do you pass for 353 yards and lose a game?
Which quarterback are we talking about?
Jameis Winston.
Oh, them dang Saints. Oh my gosh, we're talking about another game that's gonna piss me off, huh? I think this is one of the ones that we all said it was an easy one for New Orleans, right?
Yes,
Thank
we
you, New
so we thought.
Orleans. Messing up the money, messing up our picks, messing up the fantasy. Uh, Jameis Winston. Let me pull this up.
How 353 yards?
Baker is who we thought he was. What y'all doing, New Orleans? We Trey, we had New Orleans Saints. We're doing our rankings. We gave them so much respect. What we moved them up?
So much love.
7, 6, 5.
Yes,
They
we
was
moved. Made sure they made to where they was in at least the top 10, and yet this is what they do.
not only do they lose to a team that they beat all the time in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they followed that up by losing to the Carolina Panthers and Baker Mayfield. He threw for 353 yards, but once again, one touchdown, two interceptions. And Alvin Kamara, 15 for 61, two receptions. You still want Alvin Kamara, Trey? You can have him. Because I could never understand how you have Alvin Kamara in your backfield and he has 2 receptions. What?
And the funny thing is because when we look at it, Kamara and McCaffrey are created in the same mold. Neither one of them got off offensively from a passing game standpoint, but
Right. 2 for 7.
McCaffrey had over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Where was the rush game? And I think that's what Carolina was able to establish. It was a home game for him. Baker, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. QBR of 83.8. Jameis Winston got to take care of the football.
Okay, Marcus said Winston is a gunslinger, always put up yardage, throw as many interceptions as CDs, the story of his career.
So the last 4 New Orleans drives, how many of them you think ended in turnover?
2.
50%. Interception, punt, touchdown, interception in the game.
Got to do better, Jameis. I had so much promise for you. Now I'm searching waiver wires to see how I can replace you. And watch, as soon as I replace him, he's gonna go on a tangent.
He
Let's
has
get.
the weapons. He should
He
be going
does
on. This is an
for real.
indictment. I hate to say it. This is the last starting year for Jameis. You got way too many weapons, man. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Saints, get the Aints bags out. Get them out.
Next game, of course, the Baltimore Ravens faced off against the New England Patriots. The Patriots currently looking at a injury to their franchise quarterback, Mac Jones, as he is sustained what is presumed to be a high ankle sprain. Mac Jones, 22 for 32, 321 yards, 3 interceptions. Ramondre Stevens, 12 carries for 73 yards, 1 touchdown. Damian Harris, 11 for 41 with a touchdown. And Mac Jones had 5 carries for 31 yards and a touchdown himself. Devontae Parker was 5 for 156 yards. Kendrick Bourne, 4 for 58. Nelson Aguilar, 2 for 41. Stevenson with 4 receptions for 21 yards. John Smith, 4 for 25. Henry, 1 reception for 8 yards. Damian, 2 for 5. Other side of the ball, Lamar was doing his thing. Not a huge output, but in any case, 4 touchdowns on 18 for 29 passing, 218 yards with an interception. Also, another game, 12th game of his career with 11 carries for 107 yards plus a touchdown. Justice Hill, 6 for 60. J.K. Dobbins making his return back, 7 carries for 23 yards. Mark Andrews, a huge recipient. Shout out to Mr. Andrews, 8 receptions, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rashad Bateman, 2 for 59. Devin Duvernay, 2 receptions for 25 yards with a touchdown. Josh Oliver, 2 receptions for 8 yards with a touchdown. Patrick Ricard, 1 for 12. The Ravens did it from a whole bunch of different angles. A steady dose and blend of passing and rushing. I would say, was this just a display, Ron, of what Baltimore does, or was it a situation where it just came out to be New England wasn't ready and wasn't ready, built for this matchup? Okay. Uh, oh, Ron's not there right now, so of course, saying that's basically what it came out. In my opinion, that's what it basically came out to be. They wasn't built for it. Um, what up, Coach Dante? Good to have you here, brother. Uh, uh, it's just one of those situations where definitely Baltimore was favored. They were high. They were bigger. New England was overmatched. Obviously, he wasn't ready. That him being in Mac Jones. Um, it's not like last year. I guess it's one of those situations. Definitely, when you look at it, he's a player now. Everyone's had a year to look at his game tape to see and have an understanding of build and see what his trends and everything are, what he does. Now, basically, it's being put uh, into the game plans. Now, Baltimore 2-1, New England 1-2. Um, but we're not going to take anything from Lamar Jackson. He did exactly
Did
what
I
we
come
expected
back
him
right
to.
on time for the
Right?
Marvelous?
Yes. Yeah,
My God.
do you think? I was just asked. I just asked before you went away briefly. Was this a situation in which Lamar was just being, like you said, Lamarvelous, or was it that Mac Jones wasn't? He didn't understand the assignment and wasn't ready for this game.
Ooh. I like both quarterbacks play from this game. I definitely paid attention. I'm always paying attention when Marvelous plays, and he's going up against a Bill Belichick defense. And he did what he was supposed to do, cut and carve. And I don't take Baltimore's defense lightly at all. And
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones has some great plays. He had like a 15-yard touchdown run to put the Patriots back into it. I think that's what made it 24. Or it might have been like 17-24, but it put the Patriots back into a one-possession game. Of course, the Ravens was able to keep them away, as I would expect it. But I
Mm-hmm.
was impressed because we thought the Patriots, after who did they play week 1, and they put up 7 or 10 points, and we are like, they're not going to be able to keep up with anybody, and they have proved us wrong both these past 2 weeks. So great job, Bill. And we finally found out, Trey, why he didn't hire offensive coordinator. Do you know why?
Why is that? Because they're splitting duties, right?
No, because Josh McDaniels is on his way back when he get fired from the Raiders. It all makes sense.
It's all coming
McDaniels
to.
got. Wait, I was supposed to find who the Raiders play next week, Trey, so we can find out if this is going to be Josh McDaniels last Sunday. If they're going to be going 0-4. Oh, come on. Dang, internet went out.
They
But
play. Let me see. I can tell you. The Raiders will play. Let me go back. Oh, the Raiders play the Broncos.
ooh, their second division one too. This is yeah. I don't think I have to tell anybody in their organization that this is a playoff must-win now game.
Oh yes, they got to keep. Can't let it get too far ahead of them. Oh, okay. So moving on. Next game. Let me make sure I keep it in time. Okay, yes, 34 minutes. So next game, of course. I could say, you know what? I would say this, and I would say this right now. I think I believe in the Detroit. It's teams I'm starting to believe in this year to get the job to make a little noise. One we're about to talk about in the Detroit Pistons, although they lost, and the other one is the Atlanta Falcons. But of course, the Detroit
Both shocking
Pistons,
losses.
the Detroit Pistons, of course, the Pistons, Detroit Lions.
You caught it. I was gonna rock with it. I was like, I love it. We go with the
Detroit
Pistons.
Lions faced off against the Minnesota Vikings yesterday. I know Eric is going to be lit in the comments. Minnesota got the W, 28-24, but it wasn't a
Lucky,
cakewalk.
man. Lucky. They looked up.
The Lions, Jared Goff, 25 for 41, 277 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Jamal Williams, hard rushing, 20 carries for 87 yards, two touchdowns. DeAndre Swift, 7 carries for 31 yards. Craig Reynolds, 6 for 13. Josh Reynolds, 6 yards, 96 receptions, 96 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6 for 73. DJ Chart, 3 for 46. Jamal Williams, 2 for 30. TJ Hawkinson, 3 for 18 with a touchdown, and DeAndre Swift, 3 for 15. We look at the other side of the ball, the
Stop
Vikings.
it, Eric. It was
The
not no easy
Vikings,
game. Stop it.
24 for 41, 260 yards, two touchdowns. Dalvin Cook, 17 carries with 96 yards and a touchdown, although he did leave in the second half with a shoulder injury. Alex Madison, 7 carries, 28 yards, and one touchdown. Kirk Cousins, a -1 yards rushing. KJ Osborne, 5 for 73 with a touchdown. Adam Thielen, 6 for 61 with a touchdown. Irv Smith, 2 for 32. Justin Jefferson, 3 for 14. Another lockdown game.
And so that means now help me out, Trey. Because when we was talking about receivers the other day, Justin Jefferson was where? Now I'm
Oh
sure
yeah, he definitely fell off. Yeah.
he should have fell off because I'm sure AJ Brown, as well as who I said, Devontae Smith. Okay, let's talk about it.
I'm ready to talk about it, and as much as I love the Eagles, this is an undisputed number one wide receiver in the NFL, ladies and loyals, and we all know who that is.
Undisputed? Who's the undisputed number one wide receiver in the NFL right now, Ron?
Did Trey leave because he knows it's not Debo? It's Cooper Kupp.
It's Cooper Kupp. I give you that. I can't knock you. Yeah, it must be Cooper Kupp. Oh my bad. It must be Cooper Kupp. He said you left because you thought Debo should have been it, and it wasn't Debo. That's what he said. You left because you.
Oh, really? That's what we do.
He said it because the double T. Oh my God, bro! If you that dude, there's no excuse, bro. If you that dude, I don't want to hear that, man.
This is 2023. We in a passion league, Bishop. Don't nobody want to hear about no double team.
That part, Ron. Tell him that part, Ron. Stop it, bro. You got more excuses than a little bit, bro. Stop it, Eric. Stop it, bro. And y'all fooling around, these Saints might get a hold of y'all, bro. These Saints might get a hold of y'all. But go ahead,
it's. Whew, Justin Jefferson. That's 2 games. Is it 2 games?
Shutdown games.
2 games.
2 shutdown games.
Not looking too.
What you say, Anthony? Anthony, what you say? Couple gets double team and he still get charged. What you say, Anthony? I don't think say it for the people in the back like Eric so he can hear you. Yeah, that part. They find ways to get Cooper Cup the ball, whether they running the ball with him or something. They gonna find ways to get Cooper Cup the ball.
They trying to make sure he gets a 2-time Triple Crown winner.
You ain't lying.
He is
Morning.
easy. Uh, in any case, you know what I'm saying, it's just one of those things. But Minnesota won. NCAA, we got a 2-1. Y'all face off, like Eric said, they face off against New Orleans next week. They might run into a buzzsaw. Just be leery and be prepared.
I'm
What
not
time is that? What time is
anything.
that game?
What game?
Next week's.
Oh,
Minnesota.
Saints Minnesota versus. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Minnesota.
As long as it's not
It's early. Ooh,
okay.
They play 8:30 in the morning.
Vikings all day.
Are they playing?
Ooh,
They playing.
They must be playing
England?
overseas.
Yeah,
They
they
must
playing
be because
it.
it's 8:30 in the morning game.
This is our first.
Yeah, it's
evening
8:30 in the
game.
morning game. It's 8:30 in the morning. Sunday.
They've arrived.
Yeah, that's that's gonna. Ooh.
That's the worst for me. Football starts at 9 a.m. For this game, I got to get up at
8:30
like
in the
5.
morning. 8:30. I'm assuming that's my time. So 8:30 in the morning. Overseas, yeah, it's an overseas game. So 8:30. So they leaving early. They probably leaving within the next couple of days for that game.
I would have just went right on the flight to there.
Now and practice there all week. Because
Yeah.
you know some. Hey Ron, we know some teams can't play in inclement weather.
You talking about the Buffalo Bills?
No,
Them too. The Buffalo Bills.
They did say that. They did. That was a dumb excuse on why they got beat. But we'll get to it. Go ahead, Trey. Finish up, man. My bad. Go.
No, I was just moving on to where you probably wanted to go next.
Oh, that part. That's why I said go ahead and finish up. I want you to go ahead and finish up. I want to go ahead.
You had, one of 3 teams currently ranked. I'm still with an undefeated record. We talked about the other one earlier in the Miami Dolphins. We got one that plays tonight in the New York Giants. Do they go to 3-0? We'll talk about that. But what we do know is the Philadelphia Eagles 3-0.
It never rains in Denver, Colorado.
20 for the Eagles getting the W. 24
fly, Eagles,
to
fly.
8 over the Washington Commanders. The Commanders, Carson Wentz, 25 for 43, 211 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions. Antonio Gibbs rushed for 12 carries for 38 yards, 1 touchdown. Carson Wentz, 3 for 22. Curtis Samuel, 3 for 13. J.T. McKissick, 3 for 8. Terry McLaurin, 6 receptions, 102 yards. Samuel contributed with 7 receptions for 48 yards. J.D. McKissick, 6 for 32. And Logan Thomas, 2 for 5. Antonio Gibson, 1 for 2. However, the Eagles, Jalen Hurts,
35,
340 yards, 3 touchdowns. Miles Sanders, 15 carries for 46 yards. Hurts, 9 for 20. Kenneth Gainwell, 3 for 6. Scott, 2. And Pascal, 2. They can even short. But Devontae Smith, 8 receptions, 169 yards with 1 touchdown. A.J. Brown, 5 for 85 with the touchdown. Goddard, 3 for 26 with a touchdown. Pascal, 3 for 18. Gant Calaterra, 1 for 40. I'm very sure set it up. Stowe, 3 for 18. 1 for 4. Quez, they can do anything. So, of course.
Yeah, they call 2 penalties on Quez watching.
Yeah.
Catches.
Are we seeing
that part, Cornelius? CC. That part, CC. 9 sacks. 9.
Oh, that defense.
Sacks. 9. Did y'all see before the game? That what's his name? Hold on, I'm finna tell you. Fletcher Cox was talking to Carson Wentz before the game. And y'all seen a bunch of smiles, but and we didn't hear the actual conversation. But I'm sure Fletcher was like, to his in the back of his head, he was probably saying, "Bro, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I know how you play. You like to hold the ball too long. We saw that when he was here in Philly. So with that being said, I'm about to take you down. I'm about to take
He
you
said, Carson, you still out here playing like you a linebacker or what?
down. And I think Fletcher was in on like two sacks, I want to say. Oh, he 1.5. He had 1.5. And Fletcher Cox had 1.5 sacks. So he was, but 9 sacks. That's the most Carson Wentz has been sacked in his whole NFL career.
Jeez.
9 times. 9 times.
Seems a little personal.
I love it. You knew how I felt. You knew it felt so good to me, man. Especially after my Sooners loss on Saturday, that felt so good to me to see Carson Wentz get sacked and us to bomb them boys like we did. I loved it. I loved it.
I got a public announcement.
Yes, please go ahead.
Of course, I am a Rams fan, but I love these Eagles. And unfortunately, that's where I'm from. So when I get on social media, that's all I see is crazy Dirty Bird Gang fans and Eagles fans. Yes, you too, Bishop. I have to say this. Let's act like we've been here
before. You're right.
I've said that plenty of times.
We've won 3 games and we have lost none. Does not mean we are automatically guaranteed to get into the championship game.
That part.
Don't mean we should just start talking beneath everybody in the league, because we will kick ourselves in the butts. We do it all the time. So let's act like we've been here before.
That's right.
Act like grown-ups on this championship ride the Eagles are clearly about to go on.
That's right. Let's go.
It's looking. I will give y'all this. It's looking very, very bright in y'all future.
Okay.
It is.
My next statement, Bishop, you're gonna love this one. Shout out Cody Schwartz for this tweet. The Eagles are projected to be $35 million. Bishop, how many players you get with $35 million? Under the cap for 2023. They have 2 upcoming first-round picks. They just found their franchise quarterback. They have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert. Something special is brewing.
Bro, that's all we got to do. That's it, man. Now, I will agree with this statement in which Eric says another game the Eagles didn't score in the second half is something to worry about. Now, I will say this, right? Nick Sirianni, he still, in my opinion, Nick Sirianni still makes bad decisions in certain areas. We took a safety that we should never have taken. Them 2 points in which that Washington got, those were 2 unnecessary points that we gave away. There's no way in your right mind that you are on your own 1-yard line and you have a bunch set. It ain't even a bunch set. You have 2 tight ends, 1 wide receiver lined up in the on the out, and you got a running back. And then you mean to tell me you don't think you're running the ball? They sit everybody after us on that play, and we ended up giving away the safety. Nick Sirianni, I need you to dig deeper, bro. I know that you're a quarterback coach, and it surely shows that you're a quarterback coach. It surely shows that you're all about passing, because you have no type of running plays that are successful in your head. You picked the wrong time to run the ball versus the wrong time to pass the ball. When we should be running, you want to pass. When we should be passing, you want to run. You do dumb things, bro. You do dumb things. Your play calling is obsolete. It's crazy. So to answer your question, though, Eric, I am worried, because you're right. That's 2 games in a row that we did not score not 1 point in the second half. Second half, we got to be able to. But this is why I say this, Ron, and this is why I'm worried. There are going to be teams where we're not going to be just able to win first quarters and not be able to come back in the second half and not be first half and not be able to come in the second half and not score points and win games. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. We're not. We're not going to be able to do that against a Dallas team. We're not going to be able to do that against We're not going to be able to do that against the Dallas team and a lot of other teams in which we're facing. We have to be able to close out. You can't score all your points in the first half and not be able to score nothing in the second.
So my question for you, Bishop, devil's advocate, isn't this a good thing? Like, I'm an avid Madden player. When I go up 21 points on somebody playing the game, we in the third, fourth quarter, I'm like, you ain't quit yet? Like, the Commanders was still trying to play football yesterday. they get bored. Let's run the ball, milk the clock. We ain't really trying no more. This is
But see,
them.
this is I feel where you're coming from, Ron, right? But mine, see, and I think Trey and I may feel the same on this. I'm the type of coach, and I've always been this type of coach. Play to win, don't play to keep the lead. I'm always been the type of coach and player. Play to win, don't play to keep
Right,
the lead.
right.
I feel I get it. We was up 24-0 in half.
They're
I got
they're
that.
young.
I got that. But at the same time, I feel like the thing about it for me in the second half, because I watched that entire game, the thing about for me in that second half is the fact that we couldn't move the ball. We moved the ball. We got the. I mean, we got the ball. We got the ball. Start of the second half. I think we got one first down and then we punted. Like, come on, man, put points on the board. I don't care. You know what? It's cool, even if we don't score touchdowns. But can we at least get in field goal range and score and knock down some field goals? You know what I'm saying? Let's still
Move the
continuously
ball.
move the
Yeah.
ball. You know what I'm saying? Let's move the ball. Let's, again, when it's all said and done for me, I don't play to keep the lead. I play to win. And when it's all said and done, you have
So
to
we
play
got
to win
four.
for me.
We got 4 plays punt, 5 plays punt, 3 plays punt, 1 play safety, 6 plays punt, 6 plays in
Yeah,
return. Yeah,
that's not
yeah.
good, bro.
Not a
That's
single
not good
first
to me.
down.
Not a single that part. See, that right there bothers me. That does concern me. That concerns me a lot. But we'll take the dub
Of course, Eagles move. Of course, hold slow position unless New York is able to get a W tonight.
tonight. Mhm.
But they hold position, firm position of the NFC East in their hands. Moving on, going back to the NFC West, AFC West. The Kansas City Chiefs 2-1 took on the Indianapolis Colts. Now 1-1 as the Colts got a surprising win, winning 20-17. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes was 20 for 35, 262 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Tiny Thompson got in for his with one attempt. Patrick Mahomes 4 carries for 26 yards. McKinnon 7 for 20. Isaac Pacheco 3 for 9. Edwards Hilaire 7 carries, no yards, but he did get a touchdown. Travis Kelce was 1 for 1. Michael Burton was 1 for 2. Juju Smith Schuster 5 receptions, 89 yards. Travis Kelce 4 receptions, 5 for 58 yards, one touchdown. Marquez Valdez Scantling 4 for 48. Hilaire was 5 for 39. Noah Gray 1 for 26, and McCole Hardman 1 for 2. Um, Opposite side of the ball, of course, the Colts, Matt Ryan, 27 for 37, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor was 21 carries for 71 yards. Naheem Hines, 3 for 7. Matt Ryan, 3 for 4. Michael Pittman Jr., welcome back, 8 receptions, 72 yards. Alec Pierce was 3 for 61. Naheem Hines, 5 for 23. Jalen Woods, 2 receptions, 13 yards, 2 touchdowns. Paris Campbell, 2 for 10. Mo Ali Cox 3 for 9. Woods getting the last go ahead touchdown to get the game. Kansas City 2-1. Indianapolis Colts 1-1. Gentlemen, what did you think of this game? Did you catch it? Oh, Bishop left the game. I'm sorry, Ron. This game was it? Chiefs can't believe the Chiefs played so badly. It's like the Colts had their playbook, fired the kicker, coach your ride with the Bears. We get to the Bears and momentarily, coach. Uh, but yeah, so I think it's looking like this season. No one is safe in this season. It's only a couple of players. I mean, a couple of teams right now, in which we can't even necessarily. I'm very sure when we get to our picks for tonight's game, we can't even necessarily say that even with the New York Giants are safe. Of course, the Kansas City wasn't safe yesterday. Everyone's susceptible to a breakdown one way or another. 35 attempts, 15 incompletes, basically, with the interception. Is there anything to worry about for Kansas City, or was it just a one-off situation, you think, Ron?
Yeah, I think they looked at the film of the Indianapolis Colts and was like, "Is this a high school team? What in the world is going on?" And they walked in there and did not expect Indianapolis to wake up.
So
So now we have it, of
And they
course, like I
stood
said,
up.
The NFC, I mean the AFC West isn't looking as we once thought it was. Uh, some of it to injury, I'm sure. Other to other things. Uh, it remains to be seen. As we get closer, a couple of other teams to talk about as far to before we could just make that assumption. Uh, Yesterday, Coach Brian come up just at the right time. Chicago Bears took on the Houston Texans in Chicago, in which Chicago 2-0 at home, winning 23-20 over the Bears. Over the Texans. The Texans, David Mills was 20 for 32, 245 yards, one touchdown, two interceptions. Uh, the Russian attack led by Damian Pierce, 20 carries for 80 yards with a touchdown. Rex Burkhead, 3 carries for 9 yards. Chris Moore, 3 receptions, 63 yards. Nico Collins, 2 for 41. Jordan Atkins, 3 receptions, 31 yards, and a touchdown. Brandon Cooks was 2 for 22. Pharaoh Brown, 3 for 31. The Bears, very dismal showing, but they find a way to win. Justin Fields, 8 for 17, 106 yards with two
Go.
interceptions. Khalil Herbert was a monster. 20 carries, 157 yards, two touchdowns. Justin Fields, 8 for 47. Equanis St. Brown, 2 for 43. Tristan Ebner, 7 for 23. And David Montgomery, 3 for 11 when it comes to the carries. Cole Kimmett led two receptions for 40 yards. Darnell Mooney, 2 for 23. St. Brown, 1 for 20. Khalil Herbert, 2 for 12. And Byron Pringle, 1 for 11. Was this just a battle of horrible teams, or was it a situation, or was it defense? Like, what do you generally see? 106 yards passing. That's like,
And he had 70 yards last week, didn't he?
yeah, 75 or something like that.
70.
Like,
He had 70 yards last week. 75, something like that. 70
Coach
yards.
Uriah,
And
what is going on
two
in
INT,
Chicago?
two INTs. Yeah, so
And it was dry, so I don't understand.
he said it was dry. Yeah, they squeaking out wins, man. I don't know. I just don't feel like Justin Fields has the wide receiver talent that he probably needs, as well as the line as what to help him be an elite quarterback in that on that team. Um, but we'll see. They did squeak the win. I picked them to win too, over Houston.
5 more games to go off. One of the next of the 5 games for us to finish talking about, and then get to the last game for the night. The
I
Jacksonville
knew it.
Jaguars.
I knew I should have stuck
The
with.
House of Duval.
I knew I should have stuck with. I
Duval
knew I should have
stand
stuck with
up.
Jacksonville. Trevor.
Jacksonville 38-10 in a game in which definitely Herbert should not have played. 25 for 45, 297 yards, one TD, one interception. Sony Michelle, 5 carries for 22 yards. Justin Herbert, 1 for 7. Austin Eckler, 4 for 5. Goodness. Receiving, Josh Palmer, 6 for 99 yards. Jalen Guyton, 2 for 64. Mike Williams, 1 for 15, but that was a touchdown. Jared Everett, 2 for 25. DeAndre Carter, 3 for 31. Eckler contributed 8 for 48, but it didn't make a difference because them Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence's 28 completions for 38 off of 39 attempts, 262 yards, three
Free.
touchdowns, no interceptions. James Robinson contributed with 17 carries for 100 yards and a touchdown. Travis Etienne, 13 carries, 45 yards. Zay Jones, 10 receptions, 85 yards, one touchdown, two touchdowns for a second touchdown by Christian Kirk for 6 of 72. And the last touchdown, Marvin Harris, 4 for 33 for one touchdown, 3 for 30, 30 yards receiving from Travis Etienne. James Robinson contributed 3 receptions for 16 yards. Was this just a game that was won in this manner because Herbert was hurt and wasn't 100%?
Nope.
Or
Nope.
is this
I'm trying to tell
potentially
y'all
the
about
emergence of Jacksonville Jaguars?
the emergence of sunshine. Like I told y'all, sunshine is. I'm trying to told y'all. This dude is about to be the truth. He's gonna tell you. He's gonna show you what he did. Why he did what he did in Clemson. It's sunshine, bro. I'm telling y'all. Y'all try to sleep on this dude, and I don't know why I chose. I don't know why I chose Justin and him over Jacksonville. I knew Jacksonville was gonna win that game. I even before we got off the show on Friday, I was like, man, I want to change that. I wanted to change it to Jacksonville, and I didn't. I wanted to change that, and I did. And I knew it. I knew. In my heart, I knew I should have picked Jacksonville over the Chargers. I knew that.
Eric with a question.
Oh hell no, hell no. Don't worry. When the picks come in, I'm definitely it won't be no questions about that. Because guess what? They're playing in Lincoln Financial. Not gonna happen, baby. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Next game up, Ron's Los Angeles Rams getting back on track, facing up against the division opponent, the Arizona Cardinals. Of course, the Rams victorious 20-12, going to 2-0, setting the Cardinals back at 1-2. The Cardinals, Kyler Murray, 37 for 58, 314 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions. James Conner, 13 carries for 39 yards. Eno Benjamin, 5 for 16. Marquise Brown, a field day at 14 receptions, 140 yards, but he didn't find pay dirt. Greg Dortch, 9 for 80. Zach Ertz, 6 for 45. James Conner, 3 for 18. Isabella, 1 for 11. And Bacelia, 2 for 13. Gentlemen, how do you pass for over 13 yards and don't find the end
Over
zone? I
300
don't
yards. Yeah.
get it.
300 yards. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Well, I think
Uh,
didn't Zach Ertz drop a touchdown? I want to say Zach Ertz dropped one.
yes, he did.
I think he dropped a touchdown.
Matthew Stafford, 18 for 25, 249 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions.
He don't no touchdowns either.
Yeah, he didn't. Cam Akers, 12 for 61 with the touchdown. Cooper Tutt, 1 rush for 20 yards. Darrell Harrison, 4 for 17. Schronenek, Ron, this guy, I see the meme that you posted the other day when he was talking about they're just now the Rams are wild for lining up a bunch of white guys with Cooper Kupp trying to throw him off. Schronenek showing that he's a problem. He could do his thing. 4 for 66. Tyler Higbee, 4 for 61. Cooper Kupp, 4 for 44. None of them with a touchdown. Allen Robinson, 2 for 23. Brandon Powell, 3 for 27. And Kendall Blatton, 1 for 28. Is this a situation, Ron? How are y'all feeling about Robinson, Ron? That's what I wanted to ask. You came up with the other. I just thought about. I know Van Jefferson's out. He's going to be out there for 4 games. He's on IR.
I don't want it to sound like Cooper Kupp didn't catch a touchdown. Because like Jefferson, he still is capable. The Rams included him in the running game. He rushed for one.
Right.
I probably already said it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
We just don't got Jefferson over here. I just wanted to make that clear.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
I feel like we have to be reminded that the Rams still might be the best team in the NFL.
Ron, I mean, Bishop, how do you feel about that?
That's fair. That's fair right now. That's fair. They still probably are.
They're making it happen with less.
Right. Yeah, they doing their thing. Right now it's they probably but we right there. We right there right now. Don't get it twisted. If the Rams lose next week and we win next week again, well, not with when we win next week. When we win, because the Rams got who next week? Let me see. The Rams play
power ranking wise, y'all number one.
Who yeah, power ranking wise, we should be right. The Rams got San Francisco next week. See, the Rams gonna have problems next week. They got San Francisco.
What? Didn't they play the Bears this week? I mean, one of these past weeks.
Who?
One of these teams played the Bears.
49ers. The 49ers you talking about. Yeah. The inclement weather game. Yeah. My bad. Yeah, the inclement weather game.
No, I think the 49ers curse last year. I don't know if Trey will agree. We can never beat them, but I think we broke the curse last year. Trey, y'all in for a beatdown.
Okay. And then the Rams.
What do you mean? We just watched them against the Broncos.
Right. No, I'm saying. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying. For the trade. You know what I'm saying? We got the Jaguars. So yeah, next week I feel like when we win next week,
it's gonna be a tough week.
Yeah. Oh, this week is really tough. Trey, especially in pick 9. Oh my God, bro! Yeah. Oh my God, bro! Yeah. Oh my God.
Moving into the next game, of course. I might have to eat them words. The The Greats battle, of course, Green Bay Packers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, both currently at 2-1. Now that one has been beat, Green Bay gets the W 14-12, just barely squeaking it out.
My
Uh,
man.
Buccaneers, Tom Brady, 31 for 42, 271 yards, one touchdown. Leonard Fournette, 12 carries for 35 yards. Russell Gage, 12 receptions, 87 yards, one touchdown. Cameron Brate, 5 for 52. Bashard Perryman, 3 for 44. Fournette contributed with 5 receptions for 35 yards. Jalen Darden, 1 for 25. Cole Beasley in the play, 3 for 12. And Kyler Rudolph, 1 for 12. Scotty Miller last with 1 for 4. The Packers, Aaron Rodgers, 27 yards, 27 completions for
Bad.
35 attempts,
Bad.
255 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Bad.
That bad.
Aaron Jones, 12
Bad.
carries, 36 yards. A.J. Dillon, 12 for 32. Romeo Dobbs, 8 receptions, 73 yards, 1 touchdown. Randall Cobb, 2 for 57. Alan Lazard, 4 for 45 with a touchdown. Robert Young, Tonyan, 6 receptions, 37 yards. Tyler Davis, 2 for 26. Aaron Jones contributed 3 receptions, 11 yards. A.J. Dillon, 2 for 6. As the bad man makes it work with less, gets his
Right.
second consecutive win of the
Right.
season.
Remember after week 1,
Gentlemen,
we said it was over for Rodgers. We
Yeah,
told him he was going to say relax.
yeah.
I still think it's a little something, but however, I do think he's making way. He's starting to seem like he's
No.
starting. It seems like he's starting to get dialed in on his
We got to talk
with his core.
defense, Trey. Remember what the Buccaneers defense did these past 2 weeks? They ruined the Cowboys season and Dak's career. And then they went and embarrassed New Orleans. I was shocked that Rodgers was able to move the ball like he was.
Yeah, but 14 points in 4 quarters?
Yeah,
That ain't saying much.
It's the Bucks. Their defense is for real.
Yeah, 14 points in 4 quarters, that's not saying much at all. He scored, he was like us. They scored all 14 points in the first half.
And it was like 14-3 to the fourth quarter.
Right. So,
now, going into the next game, in which, like I said, I think this team is something to be looked at. Their record may not be same, but it's no different for Detroit's. I think they're a potential problem. The Atlanta Falcons took on the Seattle Seahawks, in which the Falcons was able to get victorious, winning 27-23.
damn.
The Seahawks, Geno Smith, 32 for 44, 325 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not bad for Geno. 14 carries by Rashard Penny, 66 yards. DJ Dallas had 3 carries for 21. Kenneth Walker III, 3 for 19. Tyler Lockett, 9 receptions, 76 yards. DJ Metcalf, 5 for 64 with a touchdown. Will Disley, 3 for 34 with the touchdown. Colby Parkinson, 2 receptions for 44 yards. Noah Fant, 4 for 27. And Marquise Goodwin back in action, 2 for 31. The Falcons, Marcus Mariota, 3 for 20, 229
13.
yards. Kirksey, I'm sorry, yeah. 13 for 20, 229 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Cordell Patterson, good
Good
gracious.
Lord.
He is a problem. I don't know why, but he is. Cordero Patterson, 17 carries, 141 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyler Agier, 6 for 25. Marcus Mariota rushed 7 for 4 carries and a touchdown. Avery Williams, 1 for 9. Kyle Pitts, 5 receptions for 87 yards. Drake London, let's go Trojan alumni, 3 for 54, 1 touchdown. Amide Zacchaeus, 2 for 49. Cordell Patterson, 1 for 12. Gentlemen, do you think Atlanta?
It's the Seahawks, bro. No.
Okay. No?
They got to show me more. That was their first
Okay,
win.
okay.
They got to show me more. That was their first
But
win.
they did have a game against
They've
Philadelphia.
had a few games. Yeah, they
Yeah.
have.
They do what Detroit was doing last year is what they're doing this year, baby, basically.
Yeah, and then they got the Browns this week coming up. So
Okay, so
yeah, so they got Cleveland coming up in Atlanta though. So I don't know. Not to Atlanta need to use Pitts more. I mean, I don't know, man. Trey, please stop Falcons. No,
I know.
this is what I will say. Like Ron did say, he said the Falcons. Ron stated that he felt the Falcons had a good team.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I felt like I said this too at the beginning. I said before the season started when we heard that Marcus Mariota got shipped over to Atlanta when Matty Ice left. I said Marcus Mariota might have something left in the tank. I said
Mm-hmm.
he might be able to do some things out there at Atlanta. And he's not doing bad. He's not doing bad at all. You know what I'm saying? His numbers definitely reflected. They got the win. They got the W. 13 for 20. That's not a whole lot of throwing, but he threw for 229, one touchdown, and one interception. Um, so you know what I'm saying. And he's spreading the ball kind of pretty evenly. You know what I'm saying throughout the wide receiving core. So I do feel like they could be a force. They definitely could be a team to be reckoned with as long as Mariota can stay on course.
And of course, the last game of the day,
Mm, mm, mm.
San Francisco traveled to Denver to take on the Denver Broncos, in which the Broncos were able to ink out the win
11-10.
11-10.
Oh,
A lot of these games is all low scoring.
Man, I
Jimmy
don't know what y'all
Garoppolo,
gonna do about that Trey Lance guy. We're gonna have to move on from him.
18 18 for 29, 211 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Jeffrey Wilson, 12 carries for 75 yards. Jordan Mason, 1 for 7. Debo, 5 carries for 6 yards.
mm,
Uh, Debo Samuel, 5 receptions, 73 yards. And Brandon Ayuk, 3 for 39 with the touchdown, the only touchdown in which they threw. Jeffrey Wilson, 3 for 31. Kittle, and he coming back for the first time this season, 4 receptions, 28 yards. Kuchik, 1 for 24. Denver Broncos, Russell Wilson, 20 for 33, 184 yards. Javonte Williams, 15 carries for 58 yards. Melvin Gordon, 12 carries, 26 yards, and a touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 8 receptions, 97 yards. Melvin Gordon, 5 for 29. Kendall Hinton, 1 for 27. Jerry Judy, 2 for 17. I
mm,
I watched the game, and what I knew,
Y'all
what I
done, y'all,
already
y'all,
knew.
y'all done gave Dan Orlovsky something now. Now he's no longer the dude no more for running in the back of the end zone. They've taken
Oh my
Dan
god.
So
Orlovsky.
you know what? Just like you were saying how they should not have ran. Philadelphia should not have ran the play. Kyle Shanahan came back and said he should not have ran that play either. He said he had Jimmy drop back too deep. They brung a man and they didn't pick up, and he basically it was a situation that he said he put him in that he should not have put him in. Uh,
Look at Eric.
and that was the turning point. It really was the turning point at that point. Uh, it's what
I think Jimmy
Jimmy
just
is a
forgot where
he's
he
a
was at. He
Jimmy
forgot
is
where he
a
was.
Jimmy is a game manager. It's not one of
Woo.
those. I've been saying this. We know this. Jimmy's a game manager. He's not going to be one of those players that go out and get the lead and holds the lead. He can manage with the league, but of course, it's a lot of times it's just not going. It's just not what he's built for. And we seen the situations of where we held the ball and the lead the majority of the game, just no different like we did with the Philadelphia with the Eagles game, no different than we did in the Super Bowl, no different than we did against the Rams. And then what happens? The last seconds of in the last quarter of a game, he can't hold it, and I mean that's what basically happened yesterday. Two opportunities to make an attempt to get the ball back to go and get in field goal range to kick a field goal. The first time he threw an interception. The second time he took a sack, although I did think that it was an offsides, but they didn't call it. And then of course after that he gives a dump off to Jeff Wilson, who gets pretty good goes and gets a first down, but of course ball punched out from behind, fumble to end the game.
Oh,
Defense did what they could. Jimmy
hold on, hold on,
just got
hold
to
on,
do
hold on.
better.
Hold on, Trey. You mean to tell me you sat and watched this whole game?
Yes, I did.
Whew. I couldn't do it. I bailed out after the first quarter. I almost threw up.
11-10. Yeah, this game right here, man. This game here, I was
Well,
like,
no, I said
really?
correctly. I did not watch the whole game. I did go back.
Okay.
Okay, I did go back.
Did you make it past halftime? Would you stop the fourth quarter?
No, I stopped in the second quarter and I
And
came back in like the eighth or
came
fourth
back
quarter.
to watch Jimmy G
I you know what I
pull
can't
a
I
Orlovsky.
turned it off. I turned it off when he I left at the when he got the safety. When I looked up and the score was 10-5, I was like, this is 7-5. I was like, oh hell no.
So my thing is the 49ers is loaded everywhere except at quarterback. Y'all defense did what I would expect of doing, shutting down the Broncos. But is it y'all running backs? Are they all injured again?
Yeah, so
Like
Elijah
what's
Mitchell is injured. Elijah Mitchell.
right?
So what the 49ers is a running back by committee offense from in the backfield. But currently we don't all you have is Jeff Wilson. There's no one he gets all the carries. So you put Debo back there. Everyone's locked in on Debo. So the
Right.
same in my
He's
opinion
eliminated.
yeah the same what we had last year is not going to be the same thing which we have this year in my opinion when it comes to Debo Samuel. So but only
But
thing we can say is now Brandon Ayuk is getting more looks.
I thought y'all had the best tight end in the game too. Where he at? Well,
He just
blocking,
came.
I guess.
He
He
just
just came
came
back.
back. Yeah. So I mean, it's going to take, and then you would think that okay, him and Garoppolo hook it up again, but again, everyone is keying in on these things, and everyone realizes that Garoppolo is going to be flustered a little bit. He can get does, but it's like he may not get if you can put pressure on him. Then of course, what happened? He threw the ball going to Brand Debo, and I don't know why he tried to lead him or why he even went at him, which forced the turnover, and then we was able to hold them. Defense doing exactly what it has to do, just like Cornelius was saying. Defense doing what it needed to do, but hell, what good is that if your offense isn't going to move the ball?
Man, painful conversations. Y'all
Yeah,
think we could be looking at like a 5-12 football team?
no,
No way.
Mm,
I
mm.
remember when Trey said they was gonna win 14 games that one day.
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
We're 1-2. It's still possible
Nah,
because
y'all
last
not
year,
finna run
matter
this.
of fact,
Y'all
truth
not
be
finna run this
told,
table trade.
truth
Y'all
be
ain't finna run
told,
the table.
truth be told, last year when we was the same record or even worse last year when I said we about to go on an 11 game win streak and we went on I said we was going to finish the year with 11 games won. We finished the year with 12 games won.
Wow.
Not
So
gonna happen.
it's not off. We're not off. You just got
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
you just got to figure it out.
That's not gonna happen.
It's going to happen.
It's not.
So of course tonight, New York Giants, 2-0 New York Giants, opportunity to get back to sharing the lead in the NFC West versus the
Cooper
NFC
Rush.
East,
The Cooper
facing
Rush.
Cooper Rush and the Dallas Cowboys. Our picks ain't looking too good right now. Bishop's is 6-9, Ron 6-9. I'm 5-10 for this week. Um, really, guy, it's a half game. It's a game difference.
Bishop
You know
Ron.
what? Whatever y'all pick, I'm picking different, so it don't make a difference anyway. Gentlemen, what y'all got for today?
We're not gonna be picking the same thing.
New York, or New York or Dallas? Who y'all got?
Me and Bishop are opposite sides here, so
Man,
he
they play.
riding with the
Oh, they
Cowboys. Go ahead and say it.
no. You go ahead and say what you ride with.
Hey,
Oh, the
as long
Giants.
as Saquon healthy, I'm riding with the Giants. He's really really good. I can't
Man,
wait to watch how Micah Parsons is going to deal with this Saquon Park. He's been rushing for like 150 a game.
I know.
So
Saquon is that dude, and they playing in New York. It's in New York. I gotta go with the Giants too, man. I do.
we all go with the Giants then, huh?
No, Trey got to go with them Cowboys. He got to go with them Cowboys. He need that.
Yeah, you
CC,
can win
let's
the week.
go. Mark it down, CC. Let's go,
So,
Cowboys.
but apart. So just because. So this is the thing, right? I'm picking the Giants because I need to stay ahead and stay on top of Ron as well. So I'm picking the.
Oh, you cheating.
No, I'm not cheating. But I need the Cowboys to lose. I mean, I need the Cowboys to win though, so we can stay at the top of the NFC East. That's what that's how I need it. I need us to stay at the top of the NFC East. And then not only that, does Dallas have all their receivers back? Is Mike Gallup playing tonight?
Gallup should be playing. The only one they're wishing is Washington,
Okay.
but of
Yeah.
course they don't have.
Unless
Of course you would
Dak.
say that, CC. Of course you would say Cowboys by 3. Of course you would
Cowboys
say that,
by
CC.
3.
Now I got the Giants winning this one. They playing in Giant Stadium. I think I got Reliant Stadium or something like that. I got the Giants, man. I'm taking the Giants. Trey, that means you got them cowgirls.
Yep, that is exactly Mundo.
All right.
Do you
Dallas,
have a reason on why you're taking them?
yes,
Yeah,
for,
you trying to
for
play catch
No,
up,
you
baby.
no. So I don't need
it's
to
scheduled
actually. I mean,
catch up.
at this point for this week, it's so right now. Of course, if the Cowboys win, that puts us all at 6-10 for this week. That only gives me a slight edge because if the Cowboys lose tonight, I mean, if the Cowboys win tonight, that basically put Bishop at 16 16 and 16, which is a 50% for
500, yeah.
season,
Mhm.
500 for the season. Uh, and then they'll put Ron at 17
Yeah.
and 15, which gives him the overall lead. And then they'll put me at 13 and
Jeez.
19.
Ooh.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, it's not a race.
It is great.
It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. And so all I got to do is gain at
Ooh.
minimum as one game a week to
Ooh.
put myself in position again. So I'm cool with it. I have a whole mindset and thought of how it's gonna go. So it starts here, Cowboys. I need y'all to get this W. Uh, and
Hey,
then it
Trey.
goes from there.
Yeah, hey Trey,
Yeah.
can we real quick? I know we out of time, but I know
Yes.
can we talk about this fantasy thing real quick? Because the way it looks
Oh,
right
I
now,
haven't checked it.
yeah, in fantasy right now, I'm winning in Ron's league. Oh, that game is over. Or no, it's not over. I'm sorry, it's that game is not over. I got
Were
one.
you playing me or something?
No, I'm playing.
Okay, I was like, dang.
No, I'm playing AK. I'm killing it. He has what you call it,
Oh,
like
okay, he loses to everybody. I wouldn't be happy about this.
yeah, he got Tony Pollard tonight, and if Tony Pollard gets over, if Tony Pollard gets 20 points, he can beat me. If Tony Pollard can
10?
get, if 20, he needs 20 points by Tony Pollard to beat me.
Jeez. Oh, Keenan Allen did not play. Damn.
Yeah, so that's that one. And then in the NFL, Trey, in ours, in the frat one, of course, I took a dub again.
Did you?
Yeah, I won. I beat out Plug 124 to 99. Yes, sir. You beat out. You did beat out. What's his name? You did beat out AB. And then in ours, of course, the inaugural, first formation flag foot. I mean, fantasy football. Even though this game is definitely not over. Applewhite, Richard Applewhite. He has CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Tony Pollard tonight, and the Dallas defense. So he has 4 players playing tonight. Right now, I'm currently up 114 to 47. So right now, they projected for him to get 100 or 89 points. He's projected. He's got to get about 40 more points to beat me. But right now,
Oh wow. Jeez.
you beat Mr. CEO Trey.
Yeah, y'all done beat him back-to-back weeks.
Eric, look, where you at, bro? I need you to
gonna,
shot me, bro. That's 2 L's in a row, ain't it?
y'all gonna make him want to leave the league. Y'all just bullying him.
That's 2 L's in a row. You about to take there, Eric guy? Ain't that about 2 L's you about to take in a row, girl? Okay.
He started out the 1 year, the
Ooh,
one season.
Professor took a L.
No, I need Saquon to score about 25 points tonight. I'll be okay.
25, that's a lot, Ron.
Not when you Saquon.
He said, not when you Saquon. You need it too. You need them. Good
Throw
God.
him the ball, Daniel. Yeah. I got so I had to rename my team the Chargers because somebody dropped Keenan Allen in this league. I could never understand why, but I guess because he's injured. So but I started him, he didn't play. But I got all the Chargers, y'all.
Let me see.
It's ridiculous.
I need you to beat. Oh, I need him to get them 25 for you too, bro. Because I need you to put Jovid 19 because he 2-0.
Right. So these Giants better show
Low
up
Country
tonight.
lost. Low Country look like he might lose too. That's going. Ooh, and Melissa got murdered. God, Kid beat the brakes off Melissa. She put up.
She got
153 points.
Devontae Smith.
Oh, let me see this game, low key. Oh no, this game is over. Ain't this game over? I think this game.
Yeah, it's over. So yeah,
for team discount and low key.
So-
yeah. That game over.
So they won. Who's that? 1 and 2 lose. 1, 2. Yeah, 1 and 2 lose. So
I'm in first. So that means that means your boy in first place there. Is that correct?
No, not yet. What you currently fourth place?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna be second. You right now. You're looking at being second place.
If I lose,
Yeah, if you lose, So we definitely need Saquon to
and
come
if
in.
I win, that puts me in second. So Saquon, come on, and we bet on the Giants. Come on.
Yeah, and that puts me at first. Yeah, if you win, that puts me. And
And
Saquon does.
Trey would be at third. We all right there, y'all.
And Trey, would that put Trey at third? Trey, that
Yeah,
puts
he's
you
at
at third.
six right now. You
Oh
got
yeah,
you got four. I'm five. Trey six.
yeah.
Well, you got to take in consideration. It depends on where those because people that lose and they're undefeated, so they're going to even push down or depending on it comes to the point score. So I don't know. We'll see. And what's his name is yeah. So we'll see. It's not dismal yet. So possibilities remain. But one thing that remains is Bishop would be undefeated still.
That part.
He would be one. He possibly one or two people undefeated.
Not only
So
am I
basically, he's saying
I'm undefeated in all three leagues. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. In Ryan's really, I'm 2-1. I'm beat 2-1. But two leagues, I'm 3-0, baby. I told you.
I took my face L in that league in Ron's league this week. Jedi beat the brakes off me.
In Ron's league?
Oh, Jedi.
Yeah.
Terry Rich. Yeah,
Yeah.
He got a good team.
I was up until Waller talked, and then I had to. Of course, I ain't have. Murray got shut down. Jackson scored 40 points.
Golly, he did. He beat the. Good God, he beat the boy.
How many points did he pick up?
156 to Trey's 92.
Damn. Yeah, and he had 170 week the other week, but Trey had 180 point week. I think.
Yeah, this
could be a championship preview.
Yeah,
it came down to it was just Lamar Jackson pulled.
I lost right in that league.
Did you lose in your league? Let me see.
It ain't my league no more. I'm just cloning it. I'm just owning it.
What's your team name in that one?
Two footballs.
Yeah.
I don't see him.
Dang, man. I'm pulling a Derek Carr.
No, you won.
Oh,
157 to 81. Oh, you had the biggest blowout.
Oh yeah. I thought I was going to go 0-3. Okay.
Yeah, 157. You won. Yeah, 157.
I'll take the league back, Trey. I'll take.
Yeah. Yeah. What up, Facebook user, whoever that is, who that may be. Yeah, you. I think you got the biggest blowout.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like you got the biggest blowout. I thought it was the one old boy beating Trey, but no, now it's you. 157 to 81. Yeah, that's.
Wait, it was a league. Who did? Let's see if I can. What league was son of a son of a coach and player with your TDs pending. What trade did they put forth? What plug them pulled off? What he traded Derrick Henry for Miles Sanders and Cam Akers
to who?
To Flip Mode.
Derrick Henry for Cam Akers and who?
And Miles Sanders.
That's a great trade. Running back depth versus running back ceiling.
And which one? And who is Cowboy Nation?
Oh, Cowboy Nation is absolute.
So who is what's his name?
Playing with your TDs.
Playing with your TDs. Oh, that's
Flip Mode.
Flip Mode. Okay. Oh, he 0-2. That's why. Well, he got to win this week.
So he got Derrick Henry in the trade.
Yeah, he gets Derrick Henry for Miles Sanders and Cam Akers.
Desperation, I like it. That's a great
trade. And check this. And he got Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. He had him this week, and Derrick Henry got him 25 points. Had most all his 20. If he didn't have Derrick Henry, he wouldn't have won that game.
Damn. Yeah, Derrick Henry had a
compared to Miles Sanders and Cam Akers, who got him 15.5 points.
Yeah. If he hadn't got him Derrick Henry, he wouldn't have won that game.
Of course, I'm only hating on it because I feel like Derrick Henry should be with me. But let me see what I can do to break up this trade.
Oh, we gotta hate it.
Here you go. There's the nonsense. Here, this is the nonsense.
No, I just want to see what I can offer. Maybe I can offer him a little something more for Derrick Henry. because I need running backs. I ain't got no running backs. I got
You can't give up
receivers.
Derrick Henry after Derrick Henry gave him 25 points. He's not giving that up.
I
If
want
he
to
do,
see.
he's stupid.
Plug, if you out there listening, I'm sorry. I know you are listening flip mode because you're on right now. Plug, I'll give you Christian Kirk.
There we go. For
I'll give
Derrick Henry,
I'll give you Christian Kirk,
you got
and
you got to put a running back in there.
nah, I'll give you Christian Kirk
Watch
and
yourself.
Tyler Lockett for Derrick Henry.
It's been a great show.
I know that part. You asking that from who?
Derrick Henry.
Oh, Mark knows. Okay.
Marcus got Derrick Henry. He's the one got me Derrick Henry.
Oh, well, I'm looking at the wrong team. Hold up. Let me talk to you then, Flip Mode. Let me see what you
Yeah,
got going.
Flipmo got Derrick Henry, and I was like, what?
Oh, it still remains the same. I'll give you Christian Kirk and Tyler Lockett for Derrick Henry.
Christian Kirk and Todd. Hell no.
Oh,
Thielen.
the
and
trade's already accepted anyway. They can't change it. The only thing we could change it if y'all vetoed it. But that's what I would have gave you. I would have gave you. You should have came to me. I would give you a great deal.
2 players he can't
Bro,
start.
you wouldn't have gave no great deal. Stop it, bro.
2 players for his
There
bench.
we go.
Veto. That part, bro.
I think that I would have gave a great trade. But of course, that's our time for today. I greatly appreciate y'all rocking with us. Be sure to catch us tomorrow as we catch up on tonight's game. New York Giants hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go Cowboys. Gentlemen, before you get out of here, any last words?
Oh man, y'all have a great Monday, man. Enjoy it. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all weekend. Sorry I was late. Got lots of things going on this week. I might be in and out this week because we about to close on our house. So we got a lot of things going on this weekend. But with that, enjoy. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Be sure to tune in Monday through Friday at 09 1100 hours. And for you civilian personnel, that's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's all I got, Trey. Ron, what about you, bro?
Saquon Barkley. Yeah, you see Marcus is in this chat talking trash. We need you to ball out tonight, Saquon. Show them who the best running back in the NFL is, baby.
There it is.
Catch y'all tomorrow in high speeds. Look great. We appreciate y'all. Holla at us tomorrow. Peace.
Cyro 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated. We'll holla back.